Hey, if you're enjoying the content here at Dennis Sperling Unfiltered, make sure you support it by sharing, and subscribing to the channel. And also, hit that little notification bell in the corner so that you'll get notice of each and every one of our live feeds.
Y'all gonna cancel me, but today marks the day that I will be dating outside of my race. And I know what you're about to say. Aren't you pro-black? I am. But as a dark-skinned black woman, the most hate I get is from my own men. And me restricting myself to only dating black men is giving me little to no options. Because there's only like a small group of black men who actually like women like me. And trust me, I've been trying to educate black men about colorism, futurism, texturism my whole damn life. I do it on my platform every day. But a lot of them choose to stay dense and ignorant. And I'm sorry, but you're not about to ask me to wait for these men to stop being colorist. I cannot wait any longer for these men to stop the self-hatred. I want to go where I'm wanted. I'm tired of sitting in places where I'm not wanted and try to convince the people that I should be desired. I'm sorry, but I'm done with that. So from this day forward, Shakira will be looking outside of her race when it comes to dating. Not saying I'm not going to date black men. I definitely will. But to expand my options, yes, I will be dating outside of my race. Unapologetically. Thank you very much.
Thank you, everybody, for your contributions. I appreciate it. Let's keep it going. Donate to the Super Chat. Donate to the PayPal. Donate to the Cash App. It's your contributions and your donations that'll cause for this platform to grow. Let our voice be the voice, the preeminent voice in Black America.
So don't you expect stuff like that? So don't I give you what you expect and what you need and what you want? Okay, because you deserve it. Because you treat me well. Just keep smiling for me if life's good.
So, this is some sage for your blood clot.
Hey, if you're enjoying the content here at Dennis Sperling Unfiltered, make sure you support it by sharing, and subscribing to the channel. And also, hit that little notification bell in the corner so that you'll get notice of each and every one of our live feeds.
People don't tell women the truth these days. Men get told the truth all the time. Women have no problem telling a man, I don't want an average man. It happens every day on my show. TLC said they don't want no scrubs, and we have no problem telling average men, you ain't crap. But if I just happen to have the nerve to agree with a woman that says she's average, then I'm Satan. I think that's interesting. People don't tell women the truth.
Hey, what's up, you guys? This is Dennis Sperling, and I'm back again. Look, guys, make sure you hit the number 1 button. Make sure you check in, hit the like button. Shout out to YOPTV2 for the $10 super chat. I want to also give an acknowledgement to Urban Eagle. Thank you so much for the super chat. We are deep in here. We got 166 people in here already. I know this is going to be a hot topic. First thing I want you guys to do, man, is hit the number 1 button. And then I want you to check in, okay? The thing I need you guys to do is make sure you also subscribe to the channel. I've been stuck at the same numbers for probably the past 6 months because YouTube is purposely blocking my channel from subscriptions. If you subscribe, you may be unsubscribed. I had 25 subscriptions disappear in like an hour the other night. Why? Because YouTube doesn't want this sort of black empowerment message given them. Well, this is black male empowerment message. They don't really want this sort of thing to get out. They want us to continue being the whipping boy of the United States. They want us to continue being the person or the group of men or group of people that everybody can kick around. But bit by bit, we are fighting back and we are taking our reputation back. And part of what I'm doing today is getting rid of that notion that black men are deadbeat fathers, that black men have children outside of wedlock and don't take care of them, that as many of the members of the divestor group say, black men are doing the same thing to non-black women, i.e. getting them pregnant and leaving them, that they were doing to black men or black women, which was totally not true. And so now that we have the facts, now that we have official reports, we can begin to dig into that. Now, I believe it was last July 2001, BGS Ibmore first brought up this notion about this report. Are you guys with me? First, let me not be rude. I'm Dennis Sperling. This is Dennis Sperling Unfiltered. I think I probably need to start doing that. Introducing myself to you guys. This is Dennis Sperling Unfiltered. I do this show. This programming is designed to uplift and empower black men and also help do away with those horrible reputations that we have as fathers, as peaceful citizens, as law-abiding citizens. So I go out of my way to take the time to look up things, and I focus on that. So this is a page, and whether we're talking about police brutality or business or great military men, I'm doing this to empower black men, to help instill in you feelings of triumph, success, to fill you with confidence and courage, so that you can be proud of the accomplishments of other black men. That's why I do this. I take a lot of time preparing these shows. I take a lot of time preparing this because I want you guys to get the full effect. This is not a Mickey Mouse sort of thing. Every now and then I'll talk about current events and whatnot, but for the most part, this is edutainment. This is not entertainment. And so, yeah, we get fun. It's fun, especially when the lovely ladies come on and try to refute the facts. But other than that, man, this is real business. So what I need you guys to do is make sure you contribute to the Super Chat, the Cash App, and the PayPal. But in the meantime, let's go ahead and get this thing started. I want you guys to first check out this screen. This is what this is based on. This is from 2018. This is a National Health Statistics report, and we're going to be focusing on several charts. Now, you can take this and read it yourself, and I suggest that you should. But what we're going to do is we're going to focus on several charts, okay? And the charts are down here specifically, and you really got to dig into it. Now, I'm going to basically summarize this stuff. Now, I'm not going to go, but the link to the charts, that's the most important thing. Click here, bam. Now it's right there in the chat room for all to have. You guys, you mathematicians, you can take this stuff and break it down any kind of way you want. The information is now yours, okay, for you to have. Now, again, before we get started, make sure you subscribe to the channel. They've been unsubscribing all my people, and it's just really a horrible thing. All I'm trying to do is help my brothers out, man. Everybody else seems to have backup except us. And I just find it unfortunate, but I'm doing my part. I want you guys to do your part, okay? And by contributing to the Super Chat, the Cash App, and the PayPal. I literally rushed home from work to try to get here to do this. And so it's very important that you guys show your appreciation by contributing, taking time out of my day to do this, because, it's important. But if it's important to you, show me it's important to you with your support, by hitting the like button and also by subscribing to the channel. And of course, by contributing to the Super Chat, the Cash App, and the PayPal. Okay, so here we go. Here's the thing, guys. And let me get everything loaded up here. Y'all make sure y'all pull that chart up. Big shout out to Jeremy Duncan. Thank you so much. And also the link to the Super Chat and the Cash App. I'm sorry, the link to the PayPal and the Super Chat are below. Here's the thing. 51% of black men aren't married and don't have children. And another 31% of black men are married and they live with their wives. So like many of you, I always wondered, you know, are you saying 18% of black men, more or less, are impregnating 80% of black women? Because that's the single mother rate in the black community. I mean, to me, that sounds impossible, right? And like I said, come to find out, black American women have been getting impregnated by men of other races at an enormous rate. Black men have less children than black women. Black women have about 1 million more children than black men. Many of them are sired by men of other races. So what does that mean? I mean, it means that a vast majority of these children, or a large percentage of these children, these black women are getting pregnant by non-black men. So just because a child is born to a black woman does not mean that the child was sired by a black man. Black men have been unjustly labeled as being deadbeat dads, being reckless with our seed. And it's not fair, okay? It's not fair, and we as black men have an obligation to defend our reputation. Now, as more raw data comes out concerning us, we're seeing that black men are not the villains that we've been portrayed to be. On the contrary, we're the victims of a malicious smear, a malicious smear campaign, and the lies that are designed to ruin our image as men. We're vilified in all areas of life, from fatherhood to employment to education to criminalization. That's what we get, right? We're vilified and we're hated around this nation, or feared, not so much hated, but feared, some hate, right? And it's sad because America buys these lies. And, you know, and as men, we're responsible to try to repair our reputation. Now, here's the cold part about it. As far as the children, we, according to members of the pro-black community, are expected to help take care of these biracial children born out of wedlock to black American women. I just don't think that's fair. I just don't think that's fair. Maybe you guys do. Maybe there's some pro-black people in here. Maybe you feel that way. I just don't think it's fair that black men should have to help take care of the biracial children between black women and their Hispanic, Arab, and white fathers, especially when those men abandon those children. I don't think it's fair that we should have to do that. So this is not the only time that we've seen this. I mean, it's been right here in our face. Look at the trends. And if you look at the top black women in public arenas, whether it be politics, law, movie stars, TV stars, if you look at those women, if you examine them and examine their life, many of those black American women have had children with white, Hispanic, and Asian men. Whether we're talking about Diane Carroll, Pearl Bailey, Dorothy Dandridge, or if you talk about more modern superstars like Serena Williams, Janet Jackson, Sanaa Lathan. How about Kerry Washington and Haley Berry? All of these black women were in interracial relationships, and all of them have children from those unions by non-black men. And in this regard, I don't see where, you know, ever were these black women fans of these women, these powerful, successful. I don't see where they say that this is a problem. On the flip side, if a black man has children by women outside of his ethnic group, it's a problem. Now, the thing about it is, the duplicity and misandry and the self-entitlement that I see there is astounding. And the problem is it's so common, we just have grown to just ignore it. In my opinion, Black women have always had access to, or Black women, other men from other races have always had access to Black men. They're the biggest race cheaters of all, historically speaking. If you look into Chancellor Williams' book, Fall of Black Civilization, he talks about how the northern invaders came down into Africa and they impregnated so many of these African women. And then those women gave loyal birth to those children, and those children then turned on Black men and the Black women that were native to the country and helped their father's people. That's not me, okay? That's Chancellor Williams, one of our greatest historians. So, my suggestion to you guys is you got to really dig deep into this and ask yourself, not only are we asked to help take care of the children of single mothers, but now we're being asked to help take care of the children sired by white men, Hispanic men, and Asian men, right? That are born to these single mothers. I just don't think that's fair. I don't think it's right. Guys, if you think, and let's take a poll in the chat room, right? Because we're live, and the reason we do these things live is because I want you guys to tell me, and maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's like, if it's a Black child, we should help. I don't know, but I'm gonna ask you, yes or no? Should Black men help take care of the biracial children of Black women fathered by non-Black men? If you agree we should, say yes. If you say no, if you don't think we should, say no. So Y's for yes, N's for no's. I want to know what you guys think. And we'll take that poll. And the other thing is, if you're interested in the tables, right, you're interested in the link. It's a PDF document. I put the link in the chat room. It's entitled Fertility of Men and Women aged 15 to 44 in the United States, National Survey of Family Growth, 2011 through 2015, by Gladys M. Martinez, PhD, Kimberly Daniels, PhD, and Maria Vasquez, and is published in the National Health Statistics Report, number 113 of July 2018. Okay, it's free to download. I'll put the link in the chat room again. And you guys let me know. So far it's a no. Is there anybody who believes that we as Black men should help take care of these children? Is there anybody? Is there anybody here? I'm gonna open the chat room up quick because I want to know. What about the members of the pro-Black community? Are there any folks in here who consider themselves member of the pro-Black community? If you're a member of the pro-Black community, you are ready. You got your Black fist in there. Let me know. Let me know. See, here's another thing you got to understand, right? I'm not just looking at this chart by itself. Okay. I'm also considering the fact that Black men, to the tune of 51%, don't have children. They don't have children and they aren't married. All right. Now, by the time Black men reach middle age, to the tune of 60% of us, that's 6 out of 4, we hit middle class. Okay. Now, if you look at the chart and you add it up, what it shows you is that about 16%, and as I said earlier, about 18% of Black men are knocking up about 70% of Black women. Now, these are your typical guys, right? It's the guys that the women choose, but that's a small percentage. But still, the question is, okay, just think about it. Think about how crazy this is. Where are all these kids coming from? You mean 16% of the guys are impregnating all these women? How does that even happen? Right? How does it even happen? How does that happen when the minority of black children are born to a two-parent black household? In other words, you got more children born out of wedlock to women who are single than you have born to married couples. How is this even happening? Right? And come to find out, it's not just Pookie, Jamal, and Ray and Tyrone. It's also Chad, Abdul, and Mohammed and Hector impregnating these lovely ladies. And now it's starting to make sense. You see? Now, what is this doing? Right? You're helping raise, let's say you decide to help raise one of these biracial children. Even if you help what are you doing to black wealth? What are you doing? You're taking the money that you would spend otherwise on yourself and your children, and you're spending it on somebody else's child from another race. So how is that helping you as a black man? Just something to think about. Now, the other thing we have to consider is these numbers are relative to population size. I want you guys to go ahead and dig in. Let's take a quick look at this chart. All right. Okay. Now we're starting off here. Let me see if I can make it a little bigger. Y'all with me? Hit the number 1 button if you're with me. Okay, guys? Let me know. And also make sure you contribute to the Super Chat, the Cash App, and the PayPal. We got to get it up in here, man. Okay. So look at this percentage. This is men and women together. Okay. And it says basic percentage of women and men, 55, whoever had a biological child. That's from 2011 to 2015. Okay. Now, what you want to do is it gets real, right? When you start sliding down a little bit, right? You slide down a little bit, okay? Number of children born to women, 15 to 44. Okay, I'm gonna make this a little bit smaller because I want you guys to be able to see it. Okay. All right. Okay, so I'm gonna highlight the part that says number of children born to women age 15 to 44 from 2011 to 2015. This is Black American women right here. Okay. See that 8,000 number? Those are thousands, right? Number in the thousands. Okay. That's what that is. Number in the thousands. 8,407. Can y'all see that? Can you see it? The first thing you'll notice about this chart, and again, the numbers are relative to population size. White people have higher numbers overall, so they're going to have a higher number of people having children. Okay, period. Women having children. Now the thing is, I want to go down here to the part where it says number of biological children fathered by men ages 15 to 44. Now you remember this part. Black women have this number, and this is a number in the thousands. Okay. Now I want you to see what men have. Okay. Look at that. Now let's slide down here to black men. Look at that. You see that? Now this translates to about 1 million less children that black men have. This 7,286 number, mind you, this number was 8,407. And this number is what? 7,286. It's in the thousands. So what does that show you? That shows you that black women have more children out of wedlock. What black women have more children than black men have sired. So the question is, where did these children come from? Okay. So before we go dig deeper, I want, by comparison, I want you to look at Hispanic or Latino women. They got 12,303. This is Hispanic women. Now I want you to go down here and look at these Hispanic men. They got 12,908. So they father more children than their women, which makes sense. Men go out, they have sex with women from other races, they father more children. Look at the white guys, right? The white guys, 34,304. Okay. White women, 34,007, 87. So they're not having a whole lot of children without white men. That's what I'm saying. These Hispanic women, they're not having a whole lot of children without this, a couple of hundred. You see what I'm saying? Asian women, you know, and they're the ones that really get it in, right? Asian women have the highest out of marriage rate. They got maybe 100, less than 100. Okay. Asian women have 3,163. Asian men have 3,180. Okay. So that means it's a very small difference. So it's between the other major races, it's just a small percentage of difference. But when it comes to Black American women and Black American men, we father this many children, 7,286. Of course, again, that's by the thousands, right? And they father how many? 8,407. Look at this number. So the question you have to ask yourself is, if Black men aren't fathering these children, who's fathering these children? Where are these children coming from? That's what I'm asking. Where guys, where, if, and let's just take this number. Let's say it's 8,407 children, right? 8,407 children born to Black women, of which Black men fathered 286,000 of them. Where'd the rest of that 1.2 million children? Who fathered that other 1.2 million children? It wasn't Black men. Who fathered the rest of them? You see the point? So that's how we come to the determination that Black women have had about 1 million children with men outside the race. And the question that I ask you guys is, are we supposed to take care of them? But more importantly, let's talk about what this doesn't show. or as far as our reputation, because this is what's most important to me. Our reputation has been dragged through the mud, right? But what it shows is that we aren't as reckless as the world would have us believe. So that extra 1 million kids that don't have dads and their dads aren't Black, you know how difficult it is to be in an interracial relationship and raise an interracial child, right? What do they say? I pull this article up, right? Look at this. There's social pressure putting on you. Being biracial can be difficult in a society that oftentimes just sees Black and white. But being a parent to multi-ethnic children has its challenges. Many parents of biracial children say strangers have questioned them about if their children are actually theirs. ABC Action News in-depth reporter Anthony Hill spoke with several parents who have biracial children about their unique experiences in society and how people's implicit bias about how a family should look affects them in their everyday life. The last time Pew Research Center conducted a survey on the number of multi-ethnic babies was back in 2015, and they found that a number of biracial babies had tripled between 1980 and 2015. Okay? Richard King is the father of a biracial daughter named Zoe. He says one evening he called for pizza to be delivered to his home, and when the delivery person saw the children in the background, he called the police. So what I'm saying is, society has expectations on folks, and they have an expectation of based on what you look like, what your kids should look like. So there's social pressure put on people who have biracial children, not just biracial relationships, but you are a black man and you got these halfway looking white girls. That's your child's, that's your children. And, you know, people are looking at you sideways. Think about the same thing that black women have to deal with. You got this half white baby or this half Hispanic or half Arab baby in the barbershop. There's pressure put on. So my point being what? You know, oftentimes when you get into these interracial relationships, the person who is the father, or, you know, especially if he's white or Arab or Hispanic, they're not going to be around. They're not going to be around as much. They're probably not going to be there as much. You see? And so you basically got a million black women raising children by themselves that they call black, and they complain about their baby daddy. And so we assume it's a black man, but in reality, it's not. At least for a million of these kids. And the fact that you got black men who've been deemed the most involved fathers of all other groups. What does that mean? We still get a bum rap for that. You know? And so what this does is it helps clear up our reputation, right? That's what it does. Now, I'm referring to this report that came out on December 20th, 2013. When I say black fathers are the most involved fathers. If you guys appreciate this, hit the number 1. I know it's boring. I'm sorry. I think it's important. Okay? I think it's important. If you appreciate what I'm doing, make sure you contribute to the Super Chat, the Cash App, and the PayPal. Now, I'm going to put the link to this one in the chat room too. And this says, basically, this runs down with different criteria and it compares black men to white, Asian, Hispanic men, and it determines that black men are the most involved fathers. Well, how can that be if we got all these black women who are single mothers? Now we finally understand why. We understand that black women have been having these children with non-black men, and those men are not taking care of their kids. That's what's going on. Now we got to understand it. Oh, doesn't it make sense now? How is it that black men are the most involved fathers, but we seem to have a million extra kids, all these kids running around here with no daddies? It's because black women have been having children outside of wedlock with men who are not black, who probably don't want to have anything to do with them or the community. It makes sense now. Okay? So I think we need to take these numbers and we need to shove them down our detractors' throats, particularly the so-called pro-black simps with their rhetoric. I think that those pro-black simps who said black men are bound to take care of these children need to understand that many of these children have been born to women who have crept on the other side of the fence and slept with a white man or Asian man or Arab man. What do we say then, right? Now here's another thing you got to understand. Some of these, and there's some room for some play in here. Some of these women in this particular number, that 1.2 million, they don't know who the father is. They don't know who the biological father is, so the children are unclaimed. Okay, that's another thing, which in itself is a travesty. And here's what you got to understand. The research shows that women can sometimes still have discharge up to 2 months later. So they could be having raw, unprotected sex with multiple men in the 2-month time period where they are pregnant and not know who the child's father is because they've had multiple sex partners in the past 2 or 3 months. And they just don't know, which is why you have what's the famous line? This is not your baby. You are not the father. Right. Huh? So it's not that black men aren't claiming their kids. It seems as though these women are having children outside of the race, and those men aren't willing to come deal with the issues associated with being a father to a biracial child. And you also have women who don't even know who their child's father is. Now, we're going to play hardball today, okay? Anybody who comes in here today is going to get it. Why? I'm going to play the game of, I'm going to give you all the reasons why you should help take care of these biracial kids by these white men. and you guys hopefully won't like me before the end of the day. I want you guys to hate me. I want Uncle B to be all kind of simps when you guys leave today. Anybody who comes in here today is going to get it, okay? So the link is in the chat room. I want to hear what you guys have to say. I'm going to ask tough questions. All right, so if you're not ready for the smoke, fellas, come on in. And ladies, I got some tough questions for you. I'm going to flip the script and ask you why we should be obligated to take care of these kids that y'all have had with Mario, Josue, Ahmad, and John, and Chad. I want to know. Okay, the link is in the chat room. We got a first guy up. Face facts. How you doing?
What's going on, Mr. Sperling?
I'm good. Now look, somebody got to take care of these kids. Okay, and what I need you to do, okay, I need you to open up your home, and I need you to take care of little Jamal Schwigenheimer. Doesn't matter that his daddy is white. Okay, you need to help out because this is part of the black community. Face facts. Okay, you need to be able to call you stepdaddy and all that. I need you to go ahead, step up, and be a man. I need you to, that's what the pro-black people say, right? Step up. I need you to step up and play stepdaddy to this little biracial child. What's your response to that?
Absolutely not.
But hold on a minute. We're dealing with this child in the black community. And if this child goes fatherless, he's going to help destroy the black community. Okay? So I need you to step up. Now, you keep saying absolutely not. I can't believe that. Where's your loyalty to the black community? Face facts.
And you know what? I'm glad that you said that. And the reason why, part of the reason I joined the conversation is because I see exactly what you're doing here, and I'm happy to see it being done. But what I would suggest is, you know, because I know frequently you do these Sunday sermons.
Praise God.
The Bible often speaks of, you know, basically assisting, you know, I guess women with children that are fatherless. Now, it doesn't say that I have to be intimately involved with those women. So
you're gonna help take care of these little biracial children. That's all I need to hear. Is that what you're saying?
Not in my home directly, but we can request government funding to get mentorship programs.
Why I gotta pay for these little biracial? Why don't you take it on you? You can handle that, man. Nobody. Hey, come on now. Face facts. Is that really fair to us? Huh? Is that really fair to us? Huh? You want government funding? That's the taxpayers.
Well, it's already going to the.
Hold on. Why don't you people in the black community help take care of these little bastard biracial children? Why not? That's what you need to do.
Because we didn't create them.
You did create them. That black woman belongs to you. That's your queen, mother goddess. Well, and you the man. You need to step up and be a step. You need to step up, okay, and step in that shit. You need to handle that. Face facts. We're gonna be right back. We're gonna go to J Bones real quick. J Bones, are you here? I need you to unmute yourself. Okay. All right. Now these swirlers are going out there. They're making these little biracial babies with good hair. Okay. And they bringing them back to the black community and saying they can't find a good man and they baby daddy ain't nothing. Okay. And it don't matter. It shouldn't matter to you. You should be bigger than this, J Bones. You should be a bigger man. Okay. And you should say, I'm gonna help you take care of little Mario Jenkins, little Josue. I'm gonna help you out. Okay. Bring them on over to the house. We can make them some tacos and pig feet. Come on through. Why do you have a problem with that, J Bones?
I see what you try to do, Uncle D, but it ain't
I
gonna work.
just feel like y'all being selfish. Y'all not being
No.
the men. Y'all not being man. Y'all not being the men you're supposed to be. That's what it sounds to me like.
I think this job goes to Ahmed. It goes to Miguel. It goes to John and Jose.
You can't bring him over there. No, you can't. He can't come over there because Maria don't want him over there. That little,
oh really?
You brought that little Negro baby on? No, you can't bring him. No. Go back to Keisha. Take her to Keisha. They don't want no. I need you, J Bones. You got a nickname too, J Bone. Go on, hang out with Uncle J Bones. You need to go on, bro. I need to know. You don't have a good enough reason. I have not heard a sufficient reason why you can't help take care of these little biracial children.
Like the brother said before, you know, if I'll take care of them with some government assistance outside of my home,
you
but
can't
they're not
have
coming
no
in.
money.
No. They're not coming in the crib. They're not coming into our crib. They're not coming in there, Uncle D. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
So I got. I ain't really got. You know how when you playing spades, I got two possibles. I ain't got one book yet. I got two possibles. Okay.
That's true.
I'll possibly meet the kid. Y'all gonna end up paying child support for them kids. That's what's gonna happen. Y'all gonna end up and then y'all. That's what's gonna happen to y'all. She gonna be like, he took on the role as daddy, and that's what happened. But that's nice of y'all. Y'all some nice, kind men. Anyway, Chaos Rain, how you doing? Chaos. I was wondering, Chaos Rain, how can it be? Is Chaos Rain still here? He's not here yet. He's got to unmute yourself. Face Facts, we coming back to you. I always wonder, how is it that black men are married at twice the rate as black women? And whereas 51%.
You hear me?
I can hear you now, Chaos Rain. How you doing? How you doing? We was doing the lightning round. We call that the simp round. That's the simp test round. Okay, so you in here for the simp test round, and we're gonna get to the. But the swirler said that black men are doing the same thing to non-black women that they were doing to black women. That's getting them pregnant and leaving. But the facts indicate otherwise. It says that we have less children than they do. Where these kids come from, Chaos Rain? Where they come from? When you put the
They came from the loose behaviors. That's where they come from.
It looks like they're coming from these ladies' vaginas. That's what it looks like they're coming from. The number of children born in 15 to 40, black or African American single rate. 8,400,000. That's a lot of kids. But then when you look down here, the brothers only got together and made 7,208,000. Where did that extra 1.2 million kids come from? $2 million in your bank account. Wouldn't you ask where that came from, Chaos Rain? Yeah.
To answer the question, to answer your question, Mr. Sperling, and I'll answer personally, I would say no, I would not. And I'll advocate most brothers don't either. And this is not a debate. I don't care. We're gonna argue back and forth. I'm not arguing back and forth with this.
Is you black men, okay, are not willing to step up and help out the black community like you should. Okay, the Black Power community commands, okay, that you step in and help take care of these children. You need Chaos Rain. You need to step up and help take care of these kids. Okay, it's not the child's fault. Okay. You understand? It's not the child's fault. Huh?
The lovely ladies are gonna have to probably figure that out. You know what I'm saying? They can go back to the zaddy, to who they create that bastard.
No, she can't go back there. He don't want her no more. Okay.
Well, then she's screwed. She's fucked. That's all I gotta say.
Sir. This is a family-friendly show today, at least as of right now. You know what? It's black men like you. It's black men like you. That's what they're gonna tell you. You're not down with the Black Power movement. If you don't want to help take care of this little half-white baby, you might have a Barack Obama or a Frederick Douglass on your hands, okay? Or Haley Berry, right? You need to help out. That's what you need to do, Chaos Rain. I want you to put your simp coat and your simp cape. And your
I
simp
actually don't have the coat, and if I did have the cape would have been burned a long time ago after hearing all this.
All right. Let's go. Let me get everybody else.
All right, take care, fellas. I got to go back down. I'll talk to y'all later. Take care. Thank you again.
Walk 434. How you doing?
Hey, how's it going, Uncle D?
How you doing?
I'm doing good. How about you?
I'm good. Mr. Nice Guy, what's up? How you doing today?
I'm fine. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. And then we got Serotonin.
Hey, let me say this, Uncle D. For the last 40 years, they have been the lapdog, the attack dog against black men.
Hold on. We doing the troll check right quick. Serotonin, is that you?
Yes, sir, Uncle D. That's me. I was just letting the other brothers talk.
In here. Look,
I didn't want to overtalk nobody.
Walk 34. The lovely ladies are saying we the ones dropping these babies off in these other communities. And apparently, they got us beat by 1.2 million. Okay.
So
these women don't know who that baby daddy is. I get it, but not all of them. Okay, so how do we take this and begin to use it and defend our reputation? Here's the stats right here. Go ahead. Let me hear what you say.
Yeah, we don't. Just like for the last 40 years, they've been the attack dog against the black man for the white man. So now that they had their puppies, let them take them goddamn puppies back to the white man and let the white man feed them puppies.
It ain't just the white man.
Let Jose feed them puppies. Let Jose feed them puppies.
You got some Asian.
Let Chang feed them puppies. He probably gonna eat them.
You got some Hispanic dudes. All of them dabbling in the soul food over here.
Let them go find the owners of them puppies and get them owners to feed them puppies.
And my man Dangerous Television says, so you take, I ain't got time. I ain't taking them kids. What you mean you take them? Why we can't spread this burden around? Huh? My man, let me see. Dangerous Television. He said, you take them kids. No, you take them kids, Dangerous Television. I want you to take all these little 1 million biracial children.
Well, where you getting those those stats right there you got up on the screen?
Yeah, right here.
Yeah, is that from the CDC?
It's from National Health Statistics Report.
Okay.
Yeah. So anyway, let's go to Mr. Nice Guy. What are your the CDC. How does this hit you, man? What your young brother say? That it don't hit the same. How does this hit you, Mr. Nice Guy? How does it hit you, knowing that this is what these lovely ladies have been doing out there in these streets?
Well, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
I say I refuse to be the fall guy, and what I mean by fall guy is when the daddy, the non-black father, refuses to be in that kid's life, that little mixed breed child, then all of a sudden, a black man like myself or you or anybody else on this panel got to be the fall guy. I refuse to do it. I refuse to be a lasting result, because I guarantee you, for the daddies of those children, if any of those daddies choose to be in them children's lives, you better believe that the lovely ladies who are procreating with them won't have a problem with it. They'll be parading.
You're not sounding like a Mr. Nice Guy.
Well, I'm sorry.
I need you.
No more Mr. Nice Guy at this point.
I need you to jump on in. When you see one of these lovely ladies out here, she real dark, she real black, and that baby real light skin with long hair, I know that baby ain't for you. You need to jump on in there and say, I'm gonna be that baby's daddy.
Well, I'll be the daddy on the one condition: if she pay me.
You can't accept no payment. You gotta jump on in there. Help take care of that baby. Okay.
So I gotta put my silk cape on, basically.
You gotta dig deep down, and you need your wallet to split that like the Red Sea. Hallelujah. You understand? I want you to bust that wallet open and buy that baby all the diapers and bibs and formula and be there for that quinceañera or whatever, bar mitzvah, whatever it is the baby is supposed to be, and participate in that baby's life. And don't worry about your own life, okay? I need you to do that, because the Black Power community commands that we help take care of these children. All these children being born from these lovely ladies, whether the baby daddy is white, black, Hispanic, or other. You black men who belong, you pro-black, right? All y'all pro-black, right? We're all
I just got one thing to add to that. I just got one thing to say about that. It's awfully funny how when the lovely ladies go, and I'm not going to even use the black man in this scenario, but my example is funny. It's funny how these lovely ladies go and procreate with men of other races and bring those children back to black communities and black society and expect black guys who are basically, they're looking for guys who got something going for themselves to take on the book.
I don't want you to change the subject. I want you, okay, Mr. Nice Guy, Mr. So-called Mr. Nice Guy. I want you to prove it and find you. I want you to go out right now. What state you live in?
I'm in Texas, Houston to be exact.
So there's plenty of little biracial children out there. Okay? There's plenty of lovely ladies who hung out over there in Pasadena and went up to Conroe and came back with a little bundle of joy. And I need.
Well, I'm gonna say it like this. I got 2 words for them. Good luck.
Good luck. See, you hard. Y'all ain't right. The pro-blacks will not approve of this. Anyway, let's go to G. Serotonin. G, how you doing, sir? How does
I'm
this?
all right, Uncle D. How you feeling, man?
I'm feeling good. I'm inspired. I got my simp cake back on like it's 1992. Okay. I used to send flowers to women and take them out to the goddamn Denny's and the Shoney's and show them a good time. I'm feeling real simpish right now. And I'm trying to get y'all to commit to the simping. Okay. I need y'all to take care of these women. I need you guys, these cats, know that there's a need. Okay. And you brothers that follow my page, get on out there and find you one of these lovely ladies who give birth.
What I can say? You know what all I got to say?
You might have Barack Obama in you. You can call him little baby serotonin or something like that. Get on out there, man, and help take care of these little biracial bastard babies. I need you to get
Uncle D.
Praise God.
Uncle D, y'all haven't been listening. Y'all haven't been listening to the women. We broke and dusty. We ain't got it.
That's all right. That's all right. That's all right.
We ain't got it, man. We ain't got it.
Present you with an opportunity, okay, to amend your reputation by helping her take care of these little biracial children. And she had.
I thought we was dusty and broke. We ain't got it.
No, not you dusty.
Right on.
You dusty and broke until you start giving them money and doing what they say and bowing down, and then you kind of all right. Okay, but don't change the subject. Okay, all you guys, you gentlemen, y'all been trying to change the subject. We got 1.2 million little biracial babies out there that these lovely ladies have bust out on us. Okay, and I need you men to get together, collect, and start a little baseball team. They're gonna need a lot, you know what I'm saying? Because they might be missing. They need to learn how to dance with rhythm. They need to learn all the colloquial slang. And you know, them little biracial kids be bad as hell. You know, they be bad. They like they got something to prove. So I need y'all to go on in there and teach them how to school, brother. You ain't got to prove nothing just because you're light skinned. You good. I see your little blue veins. You good, brother. Just be cool. Don't worry about it. I need y'all to get on out there and handle that, G. But anyway, I got a question for you. I need to know, seriously. I mean, if 51% of black men aren't married and don't have children, 31% are married with their children, then that means 16 to 18% of these black men are having children. But damn, that's a lot of work. It doesn't sound like a lot of work. Oh, we lost my man. Okay, so Nas, how you doing, Nas? Nas, you there? I can't hear you. Speak up, brother. Do you have any of these little biracial children in your life? We should start a 1-800 line, something like that. I get some little kids and they be crying, donate to me. My mom ain't got no money. My daddy ain't here. I could start something with that. But Nas, what are your thoughts on this conversation? Yeah, I can hear you barely. Speak up a little bit, brother. You're a little low, brother. You're a little low.
Okay.
Okay. We'll go to face facts, man. But really, face facts. It's all fun and dandy and all fun and games. It sounds like a problem. You got 1.2 million kids out there, loose kids. This sounds like a Chuck Hicks. He said 1-800 squirrel baby. Oh. Oh, bruh. Y'all, you know what? Black dudes are the funniest dudes on the planet. Look, I'm going to go off subject for a minute. So my son, you know, he raised in the suburbs, you know, and he's strong and buff and shit. And, you know, I had to talk to him in slang so he can kind of understand black, you know, how brothers talk. And so, you know, I just got his haircut. I think it was like Monday or Saturday. One day I got his hair cut, like Sunday morning. Barber came over and cut his hair. And so he went to school, you know, and I picked him up Tuesday. And, you know, I'm like, hey, son, what's going on? Everything cool? He said, Daddy, my friends are talking about my haircut. I'm like, what they do? They said my line's not even. I said, your line's not even. Oh, okay. I said, well, we can fix it. Now I'm still in my literal mind, right? And then I started asking questions. I said, well, what they look like? I said, what's their names? He started telling me names. John Quavius, Tyrone, Jamal. I was like, okay, what color? He said they black. I said, okay. Are they black or are they African? Like from Africa? He said, no, they're black American. I said, well, son, they capping on your ass, son. You gotta learn to cap back. I said, you gotta find something about them to talk back about them about. You know what I'm saying? Talk about their forehead or something like that. Tell them, don't worry about my goddamn line. You said, worry about your dusty ass shoes. He don't understand how to cap back. And I said, bro, you ain't gonna survive. All them goddamn karate belts, you ain't gonna survive this, but they gonna have your self-esteem about that big, talking about your hairline. I said, but you know, brothers are humorous, man. Dude said 1-800 squirrel baby. That's gonna be the line. We want you all to dial 1-800 squirrel baby if you're willing to donate to help take care of these this 1.2 million biracial children that our lovely ladies have created all on their own. Please dial 1-800 squirrel baby, and we will connect you with a single mother near you that needs you to help take their baby to the grocery store, get their hair cut, and also take them to see her baby daddy, because you don't want to see him no more. And you can be the big bad black boyfriend that scares him. Go ahead, be her emotional support, and you might get you some of that twat that she done gave away. Remember, 1-800 squirrel baby. I'm gonna do a commercial, but anyway, face facts, man. What are your thoughts on this thing? Really though, seriously, guys, what are your thoughts on this thing?
I mean, this has been a problem in this country and a dynamic, you know, in our community for a long time, and you know, people try to, like, you know, brush it off, push it under the rug, just basically just point the finger at us.
Yeah.
I mean, we got to realize that I'm pretty sure a lot of these children, their fathers are probably in Dubai, but that's another topic for another show.
You say they probably where?
In Dubai.
Oh no, they right up around here. I know a couple of these ladies, man. I actually talked to 2 black women about 5 or 6 years ago. They had biracial children by white men, and they said them white men just left their ass alone, really don't want to have anything to do with the kids. And so it's like when we talk about what black men do, these white men are doing the same thing to them that black men are doing. So what does that tell you? What's the bigger story in that? If the white man is doing the same thing to you lovely ladies, somebody said doo-doo Dubai. Oh, y'all killing it today. But if the white man is doing the same thing to these lovely ladies as the brothers, basically coming to the conclusion like, I'm cool on you, maybe they should begin to look in the mirror. But the main thing, fellas, is it's not us. And I've been telling you guys this for a while now. It's not us, it's them. But what are your thoughts on that, man? You know, how has this helped you? How do you envision yourself using this information in the conversation, in the upcoming conversation? Give me an example, face facts.
Well, the unfortunate side of it is, even though as men we're grateful for this information, we got to realize when you having a debate with someone, who really doesn't care,
Mm-hmm.
there's no, they say, right, you shouldn't argue with a fool because from a distance you can't tell who's who.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I'd love to answer this question on your platform if you would allow me, but it may get a little dark.
Let's hear it.
The problem is that a lot of these lovely ladies have had these children of outside races, believing that would be, a free get out of poverty free card. And other races are well aware of the treasonous acts that these lovely ladies participate in with their own men. So they'll enjoy them for their enjoyment and their recreational use, but they're not going to be stupid enough to permanently attach themselves to them, and that's what we're seeing.
Mm-hmm. Well, let's go to J Bones. J Bones, seriously, man, like how are you going to use? Because I believe in hitting people in the head with facts. How are you going to use this information now that you're armed with it? When they say you black men do the same thing that the Hispanic and white women that you do to us, you stick us with babies and leave us. How are you going to broach the subject of that 1.2 million extra babies that they have? How's that going to come up?
Honestly, Uncle D, I think the brother Face Facts, he hit it, 100%.
Y'all ain't no fun.
Nah, because just think about it, Uncle D. Like you argue with the lovely ladies, they not, they don't show them these facts, show them these numbers. What do they usually do when they come up here on your show? Even when we present them with truth, they deny it. They want to hear let me tell you something, Uncle D. I'm gonna tell you something strange. The first time I was introduced to your channel was when you did an interview with O'Shea Duke, and I heard something very particular during that interview. You said that I remember like it was yesterday. You was telling O'Shea that in Michigan, if you babysit a single mother's kid, you could be taken to court for child support.
Yeah,
they could put you. Yeah, they can turn. She can go to the courthouse, turn a situation when you can be put on. Once I heard that, Uncle D, I've never babysit anybody else's child.
Right.
I've never babysat.
You've taken on the fatherly role, right?
Yeah.
But my say the one thing you guys have to understand. Let's say you're in court. I'm in court. I'm arguing with somebody, not arguing, but I'm debating with opposing counsel, or I'm cross-examining a witness. I'm not doing it to change the witness's mind, and I'm not doing it to change opposing counsel's mind. Who am I trying to convince?
The judge.
The judge or the jury. I'm doing it for the audience.
Yeah.
So you have to take these facts. You have to take these government. If the government is going to be kind enough to put drop this manna from heaven in our laps like this, we have to use it to defend our reputations. True. Because for the past 160 years, for the past 60 years, these beautiful, fantastic, wonderful, magnificent black women, black queens of ours, have been telling folk that we are the most low down, dirty, dishonorable men in the United States, especially when it comes to fatherhood. Come to find out, they've been laying low and spreading them wide for the white men that they're complaining to. You see what I'm saying? They've been spreading them wide for the Asian man and the Hispanic man that they've been performing for. And so now the evidence demonstrates, well, you know what, baby, you got more kids with them than we do. You got 1.2 million. You have 1.2 million children more than black men have sired. Where did that 1.2 million children come from? That means you've been messing around with non-black men. That's what you've been doing. Talking about you the most loyal group. Are you kidding me? The proof is right here. Here's the proof. You can't really get away with this. The evidence. When you got a screaming, hollering little baby right here, that's the proof right there that you've been messing around with men of non-black men. So how can you blame us for you having these children to take care of? 1.2 million. Don't you think that number of women screaming and hollering is going to affect the overall conversation? And people assume that, well, that's a black woman, so the father must be black. You see why it's important that we fight back, J Bones, with facts, even if they don't want to. Even we don't change the person in front of us. We don't change their mind. The audience is listening. You understand?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man. Mr. Nice Guy, we got 1-800-SWIRL baby up. Okay. As soon as we get one, I'm sending them your way. As soon as we get the first baby mama with a little mixed baby, we're gonna send them your way, man. I need you to help out, bro. Anyway, what else you want to add to this conversation? Mr. Nice Guy.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Yeah, sorry about that. There's really nothing I could say at this point because.
Is it shocking though? I mean, is it shocking at all? Does this shock you at all? I mean, does it throw you off?
I'll tell you what shocks me: the numbers, the stats. 1.2 million.
Mm-hmm.
That's what's shocking right there. That means 1.2. That means there are 1.2 million disloyal and dissatisfied Black women out there. That's what that means.
They could be single. They could be single, but here, okay. What about the fact that for every other race of women, they've had less children with outside men, with men not of their race than their men. In other words, the men are typically known for going out and having children outside of the race. That's common for every other group, but in our group, they got us beat by 10 times as much. They got us beat. Well, the other group might have maybe 100,000. They got 1.2 million. What do you think about that? What does that say about lovely ladies?
That says every other ethnicity of men are. I'll say it like this. I'll be honest. That says that our so-called lovely ladies are the most disloyal group of women to their men than any other ethnic group of females on the planet. So, I mean,
you're talking about race loyalty.
Well, race also
these women aren't married to anybody. They might not even have boyfriends, but you're saying race loyalty. So if your determination is that our own women aren't that race loyal, well, why is it that they know what they've been doing? They know that what they've been doing. Why do you think that should we be bound to be race loyal anymore? If they got over 1 million babies outside with outside men?
I'm gonna be honest with you. Normally, I would say yes in a situation like this, but I have to say no because if the lovely ladies aren't satisfied with the men that God gave them, what God provided for them, then no, those particular men that look like them shouldn't be loyal either. Because if they're not going to be loyal, neither should we.
Okay, so I'm gonna flip the script on you guys. When we stop being loyal to Black women, because that's really been the only thing holding the Black community together, then the Black community is over. Are we really prepared to give that up? Like 50 years from now, what we see as the Black community no longer exists. That's what you guys are saying. You're saying that we shouldn't be loyal anymore because they're not loyal to us. But if you do that, then there's no more Black community. I mean,
brother, there's no more Black community now, to be honest with you, let alone the next 50 years.
I mean, no more Black churches, no need for Black colleges, no need for soul food, no need for what's it called? What they say, the cookout. You don't need a cookout. No more political power. No more any of that.
Well, ask yourself this, brother, Uncle D. Is that what the lovely ladies want? Because they're saying one thing, but their actions are showing us something else, something totally different. Do they want the same loyalty to the Black community and Black society as we do? I'm a Black man myself, and I have to ask these questions: do they themselves want because they put when they're notice how the lovely ladies who do marry outside their race, who have children outside their race, they cling to those men and those children. They take pride in those men and those children. So do they have a loyalty and a commitment and a dedication to the Black society as a whole, or are they only dedicated to themselves and their own personal pleasures?
I mean, brother, I think that women follow power, they follow prestige, they follow influence.
I agree.
And so if we don't have a black community for them to come to, then they're gonna be up out of here anyway, right? But my question is the black community that created jazz, hip hop, that came up out of slavery, that had all of these little towns around the United States, is it worth saving? That has all these great heroes that came up out of us.
Yes, it is.
Is it worth it?
It's worth it. Yes, it's definitely worth it.
So then this 1.2 million children, if we don't get hold of them and they start running wild, right? That's probably not a good thing for the black community, is it?
No, I say in order for the black woman and the black community to be saved, and in order for them to get right, the men of the community have to get right. And when I talk about, I'm not just talking about community, I'm talking about black society as a whole. If the black society is going to survive another generation or 2 or 10, black men have to get right. We have to get right with God. We have to get right politically.
So when you say get right, what do we have to do to get right?
We got to get it together, man. Because I mean,
describe what get together means.
All right, brother. I have many definitions. I can't come up with too many off the back, man.
Do we have to police our community? Do we have to protect our women? Who define who our women are? Do we all have to live in the same areas? Should we open grocery stores?
Yes, all of the above. Everything you're saying is what needs to be done.
Kids. What about these 1.2 million biracial kids? Do we just accept them into the black community as our children? And
normally, I would say no. I would say no. I mean, you guys may have a different.
How do you get the woman? If you got 1.2 million children, and you don't accept the children, the woman is not going to come along with that, right?
Damn, you got me.
I got you.
You got me.
Real quick. Let me talk.
You shut me down, Uncle D.
No, I ain't trying to shut you down, bro. I just want you brothers to think about it. Because it's a horrible situation, but it's also funny.
It's all good.
I done baited y'all up in here and then turn this whole thing around on y'all. God bless y'all for tolerating me. Nas, how you doing?
Man, bro.
You back? Okay, so your sound is still a little messed up. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I can hear you, but let's do this. You guys, I don't want to run any commercials. Make sure you contribute to the Super Chat, the Cash App, and the PayPal. We got like 450 people in here. Hit the thumbs up button. Also, I need everybody in here to hit the subscribe button. If you don't, I promise you, in 2 minutes, I'm gonna turn the doggone only subscribers only can talk in the chat room. Y'all need to hit the subscription button right now. Go ahead and do it right now, okay? I'm gonna turn on. Matter of fact, I'm gonna do it right now. I don't want to do y'all like that, okay? I want everybody to be able to talk, but it's free to subscribe. So just subscribe now. If you don't subscribe, I'm gonna turn this only subscribers can comment in the chat room button on, because some of y'all think you're subscribers, but you've been unsubscribed by YouTube. YouTube is unsubscribing my people to the rate about 25 a day. I can look up at 5 o'clock and I have 17,250, and then come back 2 hours later and I got 17,225. So I need you to subscribe now. If you think you subscribe, that's fine. Subscribe again. Okay. Thank you, Project 8020. Thank you for your new membership. Also, make sure you become a member. Subscribe, hit the thumbs up button, become a member. But more importantly, make sure you contribute to the Super Chat, the Cash App, and the PayPal. Okay? That's what I want y'all to do. Now, Nas, you sound okay, bro?
Yo.
Is the black community worth saving?
Absolutely not. I might be a pariah in this conversation.
You say what now?
Like might be a pariah in on this topic. I don't know.
Man, I can't even hear you, man. Damn, I know you breaking up real bad. Maybe your Wi-Fi is messed up. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Hit me up in the comment section. I'll read what you got to say. Face facts. Is the black community worth saving?
Well, that's a bit of a loaded question, and I understand that you're an attorney, and it's
I'm busting caps in the context of it. And where are the ladies at? Cannon Hill. We got a little lady named Cannon Hill. She said, "This is hilarious. I want you to come in here. I want you to be in here and be hilarious." Okay. I want to hear what you ladies have to say about the fact that there's 1.2 million children born to black women over and above what's born to black men. Come on up in here. All the ladies. I'm gonna put for the ladies, like I'm singing some old school R&B. But no, yeah, I know it's a loaded question in the context of what we're talking about, because the next question is gonna be, was it worth saving? Then what we gonna do with these 1.2 million little biracial children? You see what I'm saying? If it's not worth saving, then what are we leaving for our children? Huh?
Right. Well, here's the thing. It's worth saving if we could come up with a way to basically.
But see, the thing, face facts. Okay, so our ancestors, the people came before us, right? The ones that they managed to keep it going for us, right? So isn't it selfish for us, face facts, not to salvage and push it forward to the future for them? Face facts. Unmute yourself. Man. All right. Can you hear me? And anybody else who wants to come in, the link is in the chat room. And y'all make sure y'all contribute to the super chat, the Cash App, and the PayPal.
Yeah, hello, can you hear me?
Face facts. I couldn't hear anything you said. Would we be doing our ancestors a disservice if we don't preserve this culture and push it in the future for them, for our children?
Well, I believe that we would, but I don't think our ancestors anticipated the level of dysfunction that we're faced with. So,
bro, but hold on. You talk about dysfunction. Can you imagine the level of dysfunction that we had coming up out of slavery? Think about that. We all got cars. We sitting on computers and cell phones, and we got all this money and this education and technology. And you telling me that our situation is worse than our African brothers, our ancestors who came up out of slavery? Like, I'm talking about, it's 1867, and you 2 years out of slavery. You see what I'm saying? You saying our situation is worse than that? I mean, that was dysfunctional. People were walking around the South trying to figure out where their children are, where their wives are. You think you have a biracial problem now? Back then, it was really a biracial problem. Tribe, racial, all kind of stuff.
Right. But there's a difference between forced dysfunction and willful dysfunction. What we have right now is a situation where people are willfully participating in the dysfunction.
Okay, explain a little bit more.
Well, when it's one thing when you're forced into a situation and you just have to make the best of a bad situation, as opposed to when the dominant society has systems in place that allow certain members of our society to do the things that they do, and they're basically they're not even held accountable. Like they're basically emboldened to encourage and keep the dysfunction going. Now, when we try to fight against it, we're labeled the bad guys. So we have a situation where even if we try to fix it, it could easily be. Look, perfect example is the manosphere.
Yeah,
it's you guys hate women and this and that. Like most of these channels don't even talk about women. There are a lot of channels where they strictly preach male improvement.
Is it our fault that these lovely ladies are having all these biracial children out of wedlock? I mean, with these non-black men, is it our fault as black men collectively? Because they can't find a good black man because
yes and no. Well, here's the crazy part. The real reason they're doing it is because a lot of us are waking up to how the divorce system works, the family court, child support laws. So a lot of black men are just like, hey, listen, I'm not even going to get her pregnant because I know it's coming.
Mm-hmm.
That I think those numbers is a response to that.
Yeah. My man El Nas says that these dudes want to negotiate with women that don't like them. Malcolm X and Ali are dead. Move forward. Support the women that support you regardless of race. That was a young brother that was in here early, but I mean, he's got a valid point, but my God, that's harsh. I get it. You know, Malcolm X is dead, and I get it. But I mean, do we just want to abandon the whole community? Like, do we really want to do that? Fellas, give me a minute. We got a lady in here, Miss Cannon Hill. I actually asked and I believe Salute.
So cancel it.
Yeah, hold on 1 minute. Cannon Hill, how you doing, ma'am?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Welcome, welcome, welcome. You guys, we are always very polite to the ladies when they come in here. We show respect, appreciation. That's what we do out here in these YouTube streets. Now, ma'am, I need you to answer a question for me.
Okay.
Have you watched the entire show?
I've been on for about maybe 30 or 45 minutes.
All right. Did you see it? Did you see where I pulled this statistic up?
Yeah, I saw you share the stat.
Okay. So let me run it by everybody else who wasn't here. Okay. And you tell me what you think. Okay. This is it says number of biological children fathered by men ages 14 to 44, 2011 to 2015. Here, when I slide down to black men, it says basically 7,286,000. Okay, let me make that a little bigger. All right, that's what that says for black men. Now, that's a lot of kids. But here, when I go to black women, it says 8,407 kids. So that's about 1.2 million children that black women are giving birth to that black men haven't sired. What's your explanation for that?
My explanation?
What do you think? How do you think that happened?
How do I think that it happened?
Yeah, that's the question. Who did it?
Who did it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Who did it? I mean, I'm not sure. Like, what do you mean who did it? Who did what exactly? Who had the children?
It's black women had 8,407,000
Okay, go
children.
Can you pull the screen back up for me to the stat?
Yes, ma'am. I sure can. Hold on 1 minute. I'm here to help. Let me see. You have
and where exactly are these numbers from?
From the CDC.
These are numbers from the CDC and
right. Let me hold on a minute.
Okay.
I want to make sure you can see the reference. Yes, praise God. National Health Statistics Report, U.S. Department of Health and Human Services Centers for Disease Control Prevention, National Center for Health and Statistics.
For women and men aged 15 to 44.
Yes, that's right.
Okay.
So let's slide down here to this page. I want you to see it. In the appendix, you know. It says number of children born. Is that screen flickering? I hope it's not flickering. Let me go back up there. Okay, so here we are. Table 2.
Yeah.
Born to women age 15 to 44. You go down here to black American women, it says 8,407,000. 400,007. You get it. Then when it go down to black men, it says black men only fathered 7,286,000.
In that age group.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. What you saying? Where these kids come from?
Well, is it possible that women in that age group can have children with men who are not in that age group?
So let me see what you're saying. You saying that it's a bunch of 13-year-olds having these kids? That's
40? You only have 13, or the age group is what? What's the age group? 15 to what?
15 to 44.
To 44. So you chose 13 instead of 45?
These are the primary breeding years for human beings.
No, men, no. if you look at the statistics, men tend to have children later in life. Yeah, they tend to have children later in life.
Who's having these? So this between this age group, if the age, because see the age group we're talking about, the group between 15 and 44s. Okay, so the age group of 15 to 44 for Black men is 7,286,000.
I understand what you're saying, but what I'm saying to you is that you're coming to a conclusion with incomplete information, because what you're saying to me is that the only thing that could possibly have happened.
I'm just asking you where these kids came from. I'm just asking where they came from.
I gave you one answer, and I said, is it possible that some children who are born to women the age 15 to 44 could possibly been fathered by men who are older? Is that possible?
So you saying these 13-year-olds are getting pregnant by 50-year-old men?
45. What do you mean 13?
These 45-year-old men impregnating these 13-year-old girls?
Or 44-year-old women. That 45-year-old men are pregnant 44-year-old women.
So the 45-year-old women, because
I said 45-year-old men can definitely impregnate a 44-year-old woman, but that would not be included in the statistic. It would only be included for the woman's end if the guy was 45, because it's only including numbers for ages 15 to 44.
So basically, you saying the vast majority of the group. Now, I want to bring this up. So you're saying that men over the age of 44 are impregnating men 45 and up, 45 to, what's the average age of a Black man? 67, 69. They made 1.2 million babies from 2011 to 2015.
No, first of all, I didn't say that. I'm
talking about, but no.
Let's talk about what I'm saying.
What I'm trying to ask you a question, and I'm gonna ask you again because I want to clarify it. So if you're saying that the men who have fathered children to the tune of 7.2 million.
No, I didn't say that.
Let me finish asking the question. There are men between the age of 15 and 44 who fathered 7.2 million children.
I didn't say that.
Ma'am. And so are you saying that the children that were the missing amount, that 1.2 million that Black women have, was fathered by men older than the age of 44?
I said that is a possibility and can be contributed to the number. I didn't say that all 1.4 million whatever children. I'm just saying that the way that you're calculating the numbers with incomplete data and you're coming to conclusions, that's just.
I'm just asking you where they came from, because when you look at the chart right here, and it shows the Hispanic men have fathered more children than their women have given birth to
in that age group.
And the white men have fathered more children than their women have given birth to
in that age
group. The Asian men have fathered more children than their women have given birth to. But then I look over into the Black community and I look into the Blacks, and well, maybe they made them babies.
Well, you're ignoring a very important caveat.
Tell me what I'm ignoring.
That you have to take into account the age group of the information that you have.
No, you're saying that men over the age of 44 or over the age of 45 are basically putting 1.2 million babies in Black women. That's what
I never said that. You just
what are you saying? What are you saying?
I just said, okay, let me start from this way. There could be a number that you have incomplete information, right? You only have numbers.
CDC has incomplete information.
No, you are using incomplete information for the conclusion that you're trying to come
51% to. 51% of Black men don't have children and aren't married. 31%
in that age group. But once you
in the total age group,
do you
all Black men?
No, that's not accurate. Where is that? Show me that number that it says in all age groups only 51%
I'll pull it up for you.
Okay, please do.
No, but go ahead. I want to hear what your theory is of where these 1.2 million. You basically saying all these old men are giving these.
No, first of all, that's not what I said. What I said is that you have incomplete data. So I would not be able to give you a clear answer, and you can't get the clear answer either. You're just making conclusions and filling in the blanks with limited information.
It's like there's 1.2 million extra Black babies out there, and I want to know where they came from.
Yeah, but you don't have enough information to figure it out. You're just making.
I'm asking questions. Where do you think they came from? You
what
said
they came from a bunch of old men
to find it out. A bunch of young women. That's what
based on no. I'm saying, but I gave you another example of, because you want to say that it's only biracial children. And I'm explaining to you that since you don't have the numbers for the older men who are having children included in that number, that they could also be a contributor.
Because
If there could be
older
other
men are not having children in any significant rate. That's why they didn't include it.
All I'm saying is
That's
we
why
don't
they
have
didn't
enough
include
data
it.
to
That's why the CDC put between these are the prime birthing years. After that age, it begins to trickle off. That's why they didn't add
Okay,
it.
well, just go ahead and pull me up the numbers for all
pull
ages
them up.
of men who have black men who have children. Let's
All
go from
men
there.
who
Since you're
have
saying it's 51% of black men.
Well, I'm pulling up the marriage rate first, and we're gonna work our way back. Let me go ahead and bring some fellas in here, and so we have her position. Would you gentlemen like to ask this lady, this wonderful lady, and y'all be polite? You'd like to ask her some questions about her rationale? Go ahead, and I'm gonna pull up the marriage rate. Gentlemen, who's first? We can start with Alvin. Holden, what would you like to ask? And y'all be polite too. We're very respectful here. We don't do that.
Hello?
Talking in there. Go ahead, gentlemen. Feel free. The floor is
Hello?
open.
Yeah. I mean, I don't have much of anything to say. The young lady.
I have a question.
I'll defer.
Yeah, go ahead. Be polite. Be polite here.
I just want to know one thing, and I'm addressing this to the sister on the panel. Is she even still here?
She left.
All right, well, never mind then.
Where'd she go?
That's what happens.
I'm going to blackdemographics.com.
No, but when you spit that truth out, that's what happens. They all of a sudden disappear. She disappeared because she couldn't handle truth. She couldn't handle
come back.
facts.
She might, maybe her phone got disconnected. I mean, her line. So I'm over at blackdemographics.com.
Yeah, my phone got disconnected. I didn't run from any truth because
fine,
there's no truth being spoken here.
Yeah.
Just a second.
Okay. Well,
Go to blackdemographics.com and see what truth.
we still got to be polite, but she sure ain't being polite.
Black.
Be polite. Be polite. We gotta be polite. You know.
Well, you
She's
just
not being
said
polite,
that I ran
just like the typical black woman. She's not being polite.
That wasn't a very
Brother, you don't want to stoop to that level.
Now,
that I ran.
I like to stoop. I'll stoop. I like to stoop.
Hold on.
I like this brother.
Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that, please.
See this part here?
I like to stoop.
Shannon, where it says this, here's your first stat I want you to look at.
From Black Demographics.
Blackdemographics.com.
Is that a reputable data site?
I mean, it's blackdemographics.com. You don't. They got this
CDC
below.
Yeah, mostly. Yeah, they question everything, even the
website.
Can't debunk truth.
Ma'am, let me read the stat first. It says 52% of black men never marry. Okay, that's where I got that from. Okay, so it's actually, I was wrong. I thought it was 51% of black men who've never been married. In actuality, it's 52% of black men who've never been married. Okay, so does that satisfy your query?
Nope.
Let her answer.
What was the question from Black Demographics?
You could bring up all the numbers in the universe. It's still not going to mean anything.
Nothing.
Let's be fair. She's here, but,
Okay.
you know, because, ma'am, okay, so Cannon.
Well, okay.
My whole premise
this is not even a conversation. This is just for her to just speak. That's what.
No, you guys got to be fair. Let's let her talk. We want to be respectful.
Let her talk. Let's let her talk, bro. Just,
Yeah. So Cannon, these statistics which come from the U.S. Census Bureau from 2019 says that 52% of black men have never been married.
Okay.
All right. Do you refute that?
I'm not refuting anything. That's fine.
So you don't refute that. Well, earlier you asked me, well, how, you were saying, well, how do you know that these men, blah,
I
blah.
said to have children. This is why I'm saying they're conflating data.
Now we're going to go to the section where they said they don't have kids.
That's what I want to know about. Let's go
That's
there.
where we're going to go next.
Let's go.
Now, would you gentlemen like to ask her some questions while I look these stats up to help out?
That's what I was looking for. We wasn't talking.
I'm working on it.
Okay.
I'm working on it. Okay.
Fellas, I'm going to give you some free game. It's better if we say nothing. Just let her talk. We have got.
Nah, you have to be assertive. Sometimes people speak about things they don't know about because they think they're right.
You got to massage her a little bit. Got a massage.
I think what's wrong with the world is we let people speak. We have to, when they're not speaking facts, we have to say it. It's not facts. You don't have to listen to nonsense.
Well, I guess the question that I'm asking for you, gentlemen, because I know that you're very logical and fact-based. You guys are using statistics and statistical analysis, which is very much based in fact. The question that I was asking, based on what we know about the way statistics work, is how can you take data that is compiled to tell you one thing, and then you're just making inferences when you have gaps in information. That's really what I was asking.
What you're missing is is that the amount of men over 44 is so low that they said it's not worth adding to this particular study.
And what is that amount?
It's negligible, meaning like it's not going to move the needle 50% one way or the other. That's what it means.
Okay,
that's coming from the CDC. Okay. So like my question to you is, what would it have to say for you to believe it?
It's not about me believing it or not believing it. It's just that you don't have.
Well, here's the thing. You can't look. You have to enter into this conversation. You have to enter into this conversation in good faith. And if everything that comes up on the screen, if you're going to shake your finger and say, well, where did that come from? Regardless, and not do any of your own research, you're having a conversation in bad faith.
I have done my own research, which is why I asked him.
Well, let's see the links.
That's why I asked him to tell me.
Where are the links at?
Are you going to let me speak for a moment?
I want the links.
There are no links.
No, you said you did your research. That's the magic word.
And
Where
I
are the
still
links?
haven't been shown.
We need facts, not words.
If you've done your own research, show us the evidence, and we'll look at it.
51% of Black men have children, only 51%, but that is in the age group that we discussed. I asked him to tell me overall Black men, what is the percentage? And I still have not seen that.
51% of Black men don't have children and aren't married.
Right, between what age?
And I showed you the stat where it said that 52% of Black men
are not married.
And now
it didn't say anything about children.
Now I'm getting the stat where it says they don't have children.
Okay, and that's all I wanted to see.
But the brother's trying to explain to you. You came into this, it seems what they're saying, and this is something that a lot of Black men say, is that no matter how much evidence we prove or bring up, you still gonna refute it. You questioning the CDC.
What if I refute it?
So what's the point of even talking to you? That's kind of like, see, the reason I don't normally listen, sweetheart, my love, God bless you. Just please listen. The reason I don't even talk to women on my page is because you don't listen. It's hopeless. Like I can say I can give you all these facts and you don't listen. So
well, obviously,
I just don't even talk to
women on your page.
Let me finish, please, ma'am.
So
please.
This is obviously
ma'am.
Something that you do.
Please, if you would listen, please.
I'm here to give you content, sir.
Ma'am, the reason I don't talk to women is because you don't listen.
You talk to women.
Ma'am, the reason I don't talk to women on my page is because you don't listen. It's just a waste of time. That's why I don't do it.
I'm giving you the show that you're looking for. This is part of your shtick, right?
It's not a shtick, ma'am.
Brother Dennis, can I add something?
Because you invited me up.
She just proved your point, man. You said,
and then you just said, this is why I don't talk to ladies on my show. No. Obviously, you do talk to ladies on your show. You asked me specifically to come up.
No, I don't.
Then why did you invite me as a guest and say I want to hear from the ladies?
Where these babies came from?
No. Why did you say I want to hear from the ladies?
And then we asked you for the research, and you said you don't have to.
Like I say, this is what you do, apparently.
No, ma'am.
Yeah.
Listen, like I said, she came here to argue, but I'm about to leave. I just want to leave this here real quick. I don't want to cut nobody, but here's my solution, right? If you want to save these children and all of these women out of wedlock, you got to put them to work. Like regular people can't do it, but if you have a business, for example, like a corner store, like a grocery store or something, right? Make them sign contracts that this woman have, for example, 5 children. They become employees, and she becomes a side wife.
Here's the problem. This is the problem. The problem is we're still going to have to deal with this problem in the Black community. whether they got 1.2 million children out of wedlock or 500,000 or 10 million, it's still on us to have to deal with it. And so, but listen, if you want, and it's uncomfortable, it's not fair, it's really a jacked up situation, but they're not going to be responsible for it. All they're going to do is try to shift blame on us. And so the question is, do we want to have a black community? Because if we allow women just to continue doing what the hell they want to do, and facts be damned, they just gonna do what they want to do.
Brother Dennis,
get hell in the handbasket.
Yeah, but that's what I said. You hire them.
It's not your turn.
I agree.
Go ahead,
This is why I said,
ma'am, I didn't ask you. What were you saying?
This is why I say you have to hire them, because it's like a control mechanism. They sign contracts. Basically, they only get paid by the hour what they work for. So you tell them you have to earn your keep. Your children have to earn their keep too. They're not gonna eat for free. They have to clock in and clock out. And if they don't act right, they could get fired, and you could divorce her, move on to the next person. So she has to be loyal to you and the business, because she's not eating for free. She's not sleeping at your house for free.
I get the trying to business. I get that part, but overall, as black men, like these, we got a 70% out of wedlock birth rate. All right, we got 31% of 31% of black men are married. We got 18% of black men who aren't married, and then you got 50% of black men who aren't married and don't have children. So the question is, of that 49% of black men who have children, some married, some not married, how the hell did these women get all these extra kids? Yeah, they've been having babies with Pookie and Ray Ray, and they also been having babies by men who aren't married. The question is, what do we as black, because we still got to deal with it. I mean, I get it. It's a messed up situation, but those kids they're gonna be going to school with your kids. They're gonna be they're gonna be living in your neighborhood. So it's an unfortunate situation, and I'm definitely not a simp. But what are we gonna do with it? You see what I mean? I mean, like, are we just? What are we gonna do? You understand?
I see definitely what you mean, because
shift blame and be mad and not accept the fact. They're not going to even accept responsibility for what they've done. They've gone out. They've made 1.2 million babies with Pookie, Ray Ray, and men that they don't know they are, and also some non-black men. That's where the children are coming from. And then they say, well, what are we going to do now? And they're going to say it's our fault. We couldn't find any good men. Our reputation is dying because they're blaming us for all their faults, even though it's their actions. But the bottom line is, what are we going to do? Are we just going to say, no, we ain't take care of them little bastard babies? Hell no. I mean, how can you do that and live in this country in the same neighborhood with those children? In 20 years, they're going to be kicking in your doors. That's what I'm saying. You've been chomping at the bit. We're going to start here and work our way back around to everybody. But what are your thoughts? What do we do?
I got 2 words.
Yeah.
And let me tell you why. It does us no good to take care of bastard kids. We already have that problem. And look what it is, devastated the community. So you know what? I say F it, throw the whole thing away and start over with some more women. That's all we can do.
Where you gonna get the women from, bro? Where we gonna bring? We gonna just like get a pipeline from Brazil?
Hey, look, it's better to deal. Look, it's gonna be some of us lonely. It's gonna be some of us that don't have kids. We might have a lesser population, but it's better than dealing with these BT 1000s we dealing with right now.
Yeah, but bro, like, but it's not realistic to, like, we can't just throw them out. Like,
why not? They've thrown us out. They ostracized us.
You cold-blooded.
They throw their ass. Look, us good black men. Let Pookie and Ray Ray take care of them.
But bro, we still got to deal with Pookie and Ray Ray's demon seed.
It's called guns, bro. It's called guns.
Okay, so you pop one of them and then you end up in the penitentiary. That's not.
I'm sorry, bro. I'm from the South. I don't know how it work up there, California, where y'all at. But we got guns.
I'm in Texas. I'm in
Texas.
But you still.
But I'm saying it don't make no sense, Uncle D. We gotta do. We already as black men, we already fighting for our lives already. But now we gotta deal with some bastard kids. No,
yeah, and not only just bastard kids, bastard biracial kids, and they daddy white, and so that tells you a lot about the mom. Is BGS here? I need BGS up in here. BGS, please, let's get BGS up here, man, because he was the one that started the fault about July of last year. We like to get Mr. BGS. So BGS, this is for you. I love BGS up there. Yeah, but what, like it's not real. Okay. Let me go to who hasn't spoken yet. We got.
I haven't spoken yet.
We want to get back to her, but who hasn't spoken?
I haven't spoken yet.
All right. So what do we can't ignore all these kids.
We can't.
Okay, it was a bunch of bastard kids running around LA and Chicago and New York 20, 30 years ago, and now look at those cities. You know what I'm saying?
has the problem. Haiti has a problem right now. You remember the 2010 earthquake?
Mm-hmm.
Remember the Uruguay United Nations forces?
Yes, sir.
They came from Uruguay. The Latino men ran through a bunch of Haitian women. Now they're these coolie hair, yellow, fair skinned kids ramping throughout the country. Rampant. It's like in mass. These kids right now, I think they're 10, 11 years old now. And they're 10, 11 years old. I've never seen, and these chicks are not taking responsibility. They're saying they were tricked. They said these men lied to them, said they were going to get them out the country and this and that, and that's why they busted open for them.
Okay.
And now we got like maybe I think 50,000 to 100,000 of them.
Yeah.
And which, and mind you, the population of Haiti is 12 million. Okay. So it's obvious you see them. You see them on the streets.
So I wanna let BGS in. BGS, welcome. It's always good to have you here. So we're talking about that fertility chart, and I'm gonna see if I can. This is the one from the oh my goodness, it's the National Health Statistics.
Yeah.
It talks about these.
Yeah, I remember I actually know I was the one that noticed the stat, right? Because I actually went to the column and noticed the stat. And the first thing you do is when you see a disparity, because the biggest disparity, the only disparity that's flipped like that is for black women and black men. Okay.
Right.
Everybody else, the men actually sire more children than their women actually have. And it said, number one, it said, where are all these extra children? Right. First thing I said, wait, that's the first question I asked. I said, where these men are actually producing more children. Who's actually having these children for these men? That's the first question I asked. Right. Right. And so you look for a disparity. Okay. Which women are actually having more children than their men are actually assigned to actually being produced, right? And you balance out the numbers. Basically, is it exact, 100% exact? No, but it's really, really close. Okay, it's really, really close. So is it 100% conclusive? No, but the thing is, as Dennis would tell you as a lawyer, okay, though that's powerful. What is it? What do they call it? What kind of evidence, Dennis? Is it?
That's powerful circumstantial evidence.
Powerful circumstantial evidence. And thing is, unless you can explain how come there's such a big disparity between black men and black women, and it's not in line with the other men, okay. And when you add all the columns up, the only place that these extra babies that these men are siring could go is where? Black women.
Yeah, but see, here's the thing. We got a young lady in here. Her position is, and still you can unmute yourself. Her position is that these children are being sired by men over the age of 45.
That's fine. If it was just black men and black women, you could actually say that. The thing is that when you look in the other columns, and the other men are actually siring more children than the women are producing. Okay, those two things add up.
Yeah.
You can one anomaly you can actually say, okay, it's off, and it's basically it could be older men or something like that, or younger men that not in that age group.
13-year-olds fathering all these kids.
Well, it's possibly it could be, but thing is, when you talk about a 15% error like that, and then on the other side, the black women are actually opposite of the other groups of women. Said it doesn't make sense. Okay. And when you add up the numbers, that's pretty close.
Right. It looks like if you take the numbers of children fathered by white, Hispanic, and Arab men, over and above their women, it's pretty damn close to the number of children being given birth. Black women are giving birth to.
So it might not be 100%, but it's a damn good. You know, and if you took this in front of a court or a jury, they would actually form a logical conclusion.
Now, Miss Hill, where you at? You got to come on back up in here, Miss Hill. Unmute yourself. Go ahead.
I'm here.
I would like to hear your response to that. Or you can talk to BGS. Go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm the one that knows the facts first.
I don't talk to the ladies, but go ahead, BGS.
Hi, BGS.
Hi, hello, ma'am. How are you?
Yeah, well, this is your show, sir, and I did come on. So you wanted to ask me questions, and I answered your question.
But no, the question was, where are these kids coming from? And you said they're coming from men over the age, black men over the age of 45.
It's possible. It's possible.
Yeah,
it's possible.
BGS, I'll just he's speaking for me, but I did not say that that's where they were coming from.
He said that, but I'm saying to him that it's possible. I'm agreeing with you. It is possible.
Yeah, all that I was saying is that there could be a number of different variables that we don't have access to. That's all I said. I wasn't here to debate the number, yes or no. For all I know, it could be all white men. That could probably be a possibility. I wasn't even coming to argue or debate about that. I was gonna just say that, you know, I agree with you all. Like, I agree with what you gentlemen are saying. That, you know, if you are experiencing this type of issue, then I mean, you have to do what you have to do. Like, I mean, what, you know, you can't control other people's behavior.
You say you have to do what you have to do. You agree with us. What do you mean specifically?
What I'm saying is that if you are having frustrations and you feel like, especially when it comes to like your romantic counterparts, family, and things like that, and you aren't getting the cooperation, or
we weren't talking about that. We was talking about who's gonna take care of these bastard biracial babies.
Yeah, I don't think that would be
1.2 million when they get dropped off in the black community.
Yeah, I think
that's what we're trying to figure out. Who? Because it's gonna end up being on us as black men, because we're gonna get blamed for them when they start running wild in the street.
For biracial
what are we gonna do?
Black men are gonna be blamed for biracial children?
Yes.
Hell yeah.
Okay. So,
we get blamed for the children that we got now that we didn't even father. Half of these brothers don't even know that they have children. Some of them, the women keep them away from the kids, and you get blamed as the missing father for the child that the woman who was there raised inappropriately. He's running wild in the streets. So yes, you'll get blamed for that.
So basically, do they check off the box biracial if they have one drop of black blood in them, or they get checked off as black?
So, are you saying like on a census or something?
On a census or a crime report or any kind of report that they put down? What's the checkbox they put down?
I mean, whatever they would like to, I'm assuming.
What do you think, Dennis?
They're going to check off black. That's what they're going to check off.
Yeah, I heard a white lady, and she has a biracial son, right? And she was complaining. And she was saying that in her house, it doesn't matter. But when her son steps outside, he's a black man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that, like I say, based on what you're saying, that is an issue. So, yeah, what are we going to do?
So what are we going to do to convince these lovely ladies to stop having these children outside of wedlock and bring them back to the black community? It's one thing if you get married to that white, Asian, Arab man that you had a child by. It's another thing if you got a biracial child, you're a single mother, and you bring them to the black community. We got 1.2 million of those. That's the problem.
Okay,
I think the point of dealing with the issue. If y'all if the problem is exacerbated because women are still bringing more children back to the community.
Yeah, even the biracial children that black men produce. Okay, when the mothers aren't accepted in their own community, they have to bring them back. Back to the black community.
So the frustration that you're experiencing is you're saying, how do you as a black man convince black women to either marry the other race,
marry that white, Asian, Arab man,
or to not have the children with them?
Yes.
That's what you're saying?
Just like we're trying to convince them not to have bastard children with Pookie and Ray Ray that don't take care of them. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great question. How can you do it?
But see, we can't convince them of that if they don't realize that, hey, you know, first of all, do you know y'all are having 1.2 million children outside of the black community? These non-black men, but we're getting blamed for it.
Right.
Because see, the statistics show that black men are the most involved fathers. That's what they show. That's according to the CDC. And since you're not inclined to believe what I say, I'm gonna just put this other one up here so you can look at this. This is a report from 2015, and it shows. And
no, I'm going to concede your position at this point. Yeah, I'm not going to argue your facts. Your
good, but this is for everybody else. Black fathers are the most involved fathers. So if that's the case, how do we still have the reputation for being the most uninvolved fathers? It's because our lovely ladies are still spreading those rumors about us. And the question is why? Where are these extra kids coming from? And they're coming from outside the community. You see the problem with that, Ms. Hill?
Yeah, from your perspective, you're saying that these are going to be blamed on black men. So I'm just curious, like, what are you going to do about it?
Well, first of all, you know, when we have people like you, women like you, who we show you the facts and we ask you legitimate questions like, ma'am, you got this many children produced outside of their race by Asian men, that many by white men, that many by Hispanic men, and then you got a comparable number, a very similar number of black women giving birth to children over and above the number that black men sire. That kind of lets you know that that's where they're coming from. Now, I will give you the fact that some of these women might not know who their children's father is, who the child's father is, but the rest of those children be fathered by these men outside of the race. So you should say something about that, girl. You over there messing with Chad and Paul and Jose and bringing them kids back to the goddamn black. Don't blame black men for that.
Are you saying I'm blaming black men for that?
No, women. Black
women in general.
Black women in general.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, if that's what they're doing, they shouldn't do that. So.
You're one of they. You're
what?
You're one of they.
I'm a they that's blaming black men for. This is my first time finding out that so many black women were bringing children to the community and blaming it on black men. So
I didn't finding out.
I personally
black men have a reputation for not taking care of their kids.
I was stunned the first time I looked at it. I said, you know what, Dennis? When I first looked at it, I said, this got to be a typo.
Yeah,
that's what I said. It's got to be a typo. This doesn't make any sense. It's got to be a typo. Because I said that's how come I checked the other columns. I said got to be. There's no way there could be that big a gap between, you know, even if you account for men outside the age range. There's no way there could be that big a gap over a period of 5 years. This is actually a period over 5 years. It's not like total over a period of 5 years.
This is the reverse. Oh, I'm sorry. I was going to say this is the reverse colorism discussion.
It could be. What I'm saying is that when I first looked, because somebody sent it to me and they highlighted the portion about the number of black men that didn't have children. Okay, the percentage, and that's what they sent it to me. So I kept reading, and then when I saw this that column, I said, okay, there's 1.2 million gap between black men and black women, right? I said, it can't be right. There has to be something else, right? So that's why I started looking at the other columns, and I started adding up the white men and the Asian men and the Latino men compared to their women. I said, okay, this is like a smoking gun. And that's why I put up the video. And I'm sure it caught Dennis by surprise either, because nobody ever talked about it.
Hell yeah, it caught me. But see, the thing is, when I'm looking for answers as to how do I help repair the reputation of black men by putting the facts together to show that we've been lied on, you know, I look at this and I'm like, well, goddamn, y'all the ones that's having these children outside of wedlock with these non-black men, and then you coming back blaming us in the black community for being deadbeat daddies, and then you saying things like, oh, y'all do the same thing to women outside the race as y'all do to men. Hell, the women are doing the same thing. They having babies by these different men, and then what? We get blamed for it. See, it's my reputation. Our reputation as black men that we either live or die by. If we are living and dying by our reputation, then we have to protect it. And when we find people assaulting our reputation and denigrating our reputation, we have to go about the means of correcting that. And so here are the facts. The facts are there are 1.2 million Here's the number one fact. The number one fact is that black men are the most involved fathers of all. The number two fact is that 1.2 million black children are not fathered by black men. So the question is it that group of women who don't have fathers are they part of the problem as to why our reputation is being attacked? Because they're disgruntled and upset that they had a child outside in an outside non-black relationship or with a non-black man, and now they're pissed off and just blaming all black men. That's not fair at all. It's actually illogical, but it's got to stop. That's my whole point. But go ahead. Anybody?
No, I mean, you're right. In fact, there was one video I actually saw, a chick that she was actually on, I think she was TikTok or Instagram, right? And she had a black lady, I think she's from Tennessee. And she had 5 children by her deadbeat white daddy, white boyfriend, 5. And she said, so white men don't abandon their children. She said, okay. I said, but I have 5 children, 4 of which are not in my custody, that was abandoned by my white boyfriend. But that never gets talked about because all that stuff gets dumped on black men. We are the worst. We're the biggest deadbeat fathers. We're the worst baby daddies. Okay, we're consistently abandoning our kids. And we're the scourge of the not only the black community but the whole United States. And then when you find something that doesn't make sense, because what it should be, if our reputation holds, we should be actually having way more kids, way more kids than our children, our women have. But that's not the case. In fact, not even close. Yeah. If it was within 100,000, 200,000, even 500,000. Me and Dennis probably wouldn't even, looked at it. I said, okay, it's just statistical error. There's something else. But 1.2 million, that's way too big. And especially when you look at the other group of men having way more children than their women are actually having. Come on. And
the deviation for the other women is like 100,000. It's a small deviation. It's not that big. 1 million is astronomical under these circumstances. But anyway, you guys hit the number 1 button. Big shout out to BGS. Anybody else who wants to add in, ask some questions, come on in. Y'all have questions.
I just wanted to say this gives the whole reverse colors, whatever BS that they often bring up a lot more nuance, because I find that some of these girls, they literally shout it out. So it's not like they're whispering it. That they want mixed, kids with nice hair, nice eyes. And they've been saying that to me. They've been saying that around me since the 90s. And I really don't care. That's their affair. But this statistic and just that observation makes me go, okay, this is making a lot of sense.
Yeah.
That absolute, so to me, it's like you went out there, you did your thing, you got what you wanted, but you can't come back over here and point fingers. You can't point fingers.
And I get that. It's all good. But see, here's the problem that I have. And BGS, you know what I'm talking about. Growing up in LA in the 90s, 80s, there was a lot of badass kids out there who was angry and shooting at people because they didn't have anybody. They didn't have any home structure. You see what I'm saying? And right now, the situation is even worse. We got 70% of black women having children outside of wedlock, no daddies around, and apparently 1.2 million of them got non-black dads. So we really know they're not around. You see what I'm saying? So my point is, because I know these kids are coming to the black community, my sons are gonna have to deal with them. They're gonna be running up on us in 20 years trying to take us out of our cars and kicking our goddamn doors because they angry. What are we gonna do about it? Should we? A lot of the brothers are like, man, F the community. But I'm like, wherever you are, that's the community. Because the white folk are gonna move away from you, and then they're gonna leave you in there in that cesspool that'll be even worse than what it is now. And you stuck with them. So what are we gonna do? Are we just gonna ignore the problem? Y'all gonna pack up and go to the Dominican Republic? We gonna fly over? It's nowhere to go. Like I want to answer. How do we do it? And now, first thing I'm trying to say, let's shut down the spigot. Let's turn the water off. Plug it now. let's give notice to the person who's turned the water on and say, stop bringing all these kids over here. But but what do we do after that? And you see the obstacle we give to trying to point to ladies, hey, baby, y'all got 1.2 million children by these other men over here. But you see the issues I'm dealing with. It's frustrating. It's very frustrating, BGS.
Yeah, and that's the thing. The thing is as long as if fingers get pointed in the wrong direction, we don't have the ability to actually solve them. Because what should happen is that these women should actually be, actually doing the same thing they do black men. Should actually be going after the white fathers, sending them to jail for non-support. Taking those biracial babies over into the other community and actually getting funds and resources from that community, instead of draining what little we have over in the black community. So it's just a consistent problem because, I don't know if black women are ashamed of it or what. But the thing is, they just, I guess because we're in the matriarchy, they said, okay, we had a baby, just gonna bring them home. They got the white eyes and the curly hair, and that's all I want.
Cannon, what else you got to say on behalf of the lovely ladies about this situation?
Yeah, on behalf of the ladies, and listening to you gentlemen, I'll just say, it doesn't really sound like there's much you guys could do at all. It sounds like we are going to continue to do what we're doing because we're doing what we want. And if we're blaming you for it, then what can you do about it? So,
all right, here's the answer. Brothers, when you see these women with these bastard babies, with these single mothers, ignore the hell out of their ass. Don't help them with groceries. Don't date them. Don't do a goddamn. That's what we do. Since she's saying, well, there's nothing you all can do about it, fuck them. That's what I'm telling you to do. Ignore their ass.
Yes.
Because I'm trying to help, right? And basically, this beautiful young woman is taking up the position, well, there's nothing you can do about it. And we're going to keep bringing them back, and it's going to be your responsibility anyway. So now what I'm telling you guys to do, officially, fuck it. All no holds barred. Ignore them when you see them.
Yeah.
If the woman tells you she has a baby outside of wedlock, call her, the scum of the earth and keep it pushing.
Absolutely.
That's the answer. That's going to be my response, Cannon Hill.
Yeah.
There's nothing you can do about it. You're not going to even go out and tell these ladies, hey, sweetheart, why don't you put a condom on? Why don't the
ladies put a condom on?
Because eventually the black community is gonna have to deal with that, ma'am. Yeah. Maybe be a little bit more responsible because you got to brothers on the internet who are saying, "Man, we got to deal with this."
Yeah.
And y'all keep making babies. You don't do none of that. None of that came to your mind, right?
Yeah, no, I was just saying because I'm not the one with the I'm not the one that's affected by the problem, right?
Oh, you will be. You will be affected by the problem.
See.
Yeah, you will.
Come on now.
Just like that lady in Harlem. Just like that lady in Harlem.
No, I'm
she's proven that they're too black American.
You're not affected by that problem.
Proven.
You know how much violence is perpetrated by these children raised by single mothers?
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like,
do you have children yourself?
She's talking about the reputation.
Do you know your children are gonna have to deal with these children raised by single mothers?
Yeah, this world out here is crazy. Yeah.
Do you know that your children are gonna have to deal with these children raised by these single mothers?
Yeah.
They're gonna be boxing and fighting and getting black eyes, and one of them might get pregnant by one of them. You know that?
Well,
one of them, you might have a son. He might get one of them pregnant.
The good thing,
have to deal with them.
Yeah, the good and fortunate thing about it is that violence has been going down, and with
violence has been, praise God. You got all the answers. Would y'all like to help out some more? Go ahead. Praise God.
This is how I feel. This is how I feel on the matter because in Harlem, and I was growing up in Harlem, a woman went into a liquor store. She got this. I've never seen anything like this growing up. Yeah. Woman went to the liquor store. She got into an argument with 5 guys. I've got to fight with older black women and never turned it to anything. It was just cracking jokes and keeping it moving. But I always had a tone of respect. Had a tone of respect. Because she's an older black woman. She's a member, she's an elder or someone of higher standing in my community, in this community. These kids treated her like she was one of them. like she was their peer. And then when she was walking down the street, these four boys ran up and beat her up. These kids were not even over 21. They're not over 21.
Yeah.
And they beat her up.
So
They
Miss
jumped her.
Hill don't think she doesn't live with us. She's not black. She don't live in our community. She ain't gonna have to deal with us.
I'm black and I live in a black community. That's just not my experience.
Okay, that's good. God bless you. I hope that continues not to be your experience. But for the rest of us in Black America, in the black, it is our experience. We have to deal with the Pookie and the Ray Rays. We got to deal with the Keishas and the not Quishas. We got to deal with them. You may not have to. Maybe you live in some enclave somewhere with tall walls and all that, and you don't ever have. Maybe you order all your food through Instacart and goddamn what's the name of that? Please deliver to your house. What's it called?
DoorDash.
DoorDash. Maybe you don't even have to leave the house. Praise God. I'm happy for you. But the rest of us who do, we're concerned.
That's why I was saying, like, if that was the problem that I had, I would say exactly what you said. I would be like, fuck it, I'm not doing it. So I agree with you. Like, that's exactly what I would say.
Okay, we got it.
She has proved that.
Let's go ahead.
She has proved that there are two Black Americas, because she didn't say that. When she said what she said, she wasn't talking about from a physical standpoint. She was talking about a reputation standpoint. And so, and as far as she's concerned, no matter how meretricious these Black women are, as far as she was concerned, their sexually lascivious tendencies was not going to rub off on her, because Black women generally are not criticized or critiqued for being sexually irresponsible the way Black men have been critiqued, and like even how white women have been critiqued and other groups of women are critiqued, because there's a penalty for being sexually irresponsible. But Black females are the only women in America who can be sexually irresponsible and be celebrated as being strong and independent, when there's nothing independent of a woman who is dependent on government subsidies to take care of the very children she produced with her irresponsibility.
You see, here's the thing, Ryle. The only reason they can get away with it is because they get the chance to blame us, and then we're expected just to shut up and take it in silence.
Yeah, that's the point I was making.
So that's why I tell you, brothers, use these facts, use this information, and hit them upside their hard heads with it until they quit. And make it. And you're not doing it for them. Like, I'm not having this conversation to try to change Miss Hill's mind. I'm having this conversation for you brothers to say, well, yeah, it's true. And so the audience, the broader audience, he says, well, oh wow, we have these Black women wrong. It's these women have million biracial babies out of wedlock and bring them to the Black community. Oh, and so you begin to change the narrative right there. Because she don't care. She said, ain't nothing gonna happen to me. I'm good. It ain't my reputation on the line. I ain't got to deal with them. She don't care. Miss Hill say she live in the clouds in the mansion, her and Jesus and Santa Claus all together. Amen.
Yeah, I was just speaking of my experience. I'm gonna understand everybody has different experiences, and I wasn't denying yours.
What state do you live in, ma'am?
I live in Georgia.
Okay, so you live in Georgia. All right, and are you college educated, ma'am?
Yes, I am.
Now, do you have graduate degrees or professional degrees?
Yes, I do.
Okay, did your husband have those same degrees?
Yes, he does.
Okay, so y'all living over there and y'all doing good. Praise God. Now, Georgia. Now, what part of Georgia? Georgia, that's where Atlanta is, right? That's where Atlanta is. Do you have any crimes in Atlanta anywhere?
Yeah, absolutely. It's crime everywhere.
And you have boy children too, right? You got boy children and girl children, right?
I have both.
Okay, so your boy children is running down the street minding his own goddamn business, and three rednecks pull up on him because they assume because he's a Black boy and because Black boys have those horrible reputations that he must have done something. And so they shoot him down, and heaven forbid, I don't ever want this to happen, but something happens to the boy. Do you understand how it does affect you?
How it affects me that
how the reputation of Black men does affect you, baby.
That comes from white racism.
Because it's your husband and your son who can be affected by the bad reputation that we have. When they see us, they see deadbeat daddy. Quiet. When they see us, they see deadbeat daddies. They see thug. They see criminal. They see no good. And who's telling them that? Our own Black American sisters are telling them that BS. And so when they see your son inherits that same negative trope, those same negative stereotypes that are getting the rest of us killed. So despite what you think, you are still very much so involved. You can't run from this. You knee deep in it.
Yeah.
You are knee deep in it. And if you talk to your husband, he'll tell you that.
Yeah, you're conflating things because
I'm not conflating anything.
No,
I
what
live the
you just
existence of a
described.
black man in America, like all the rest of these men. And if we were talking to your husband outside of your earshot, he would say the same damn thing.
Are you claiming that those stereotypes didn't exist since the making of America? Like those stereotypes have
been around and they're still here and they're getting worse.
Correct.
And largely they were started by the system of those people.
White supremacy.
Those people.
Your
in
mouth.
the system of white supremacy racism who classify themselves as white. But guess who's been keeping them going?
Black women keep white supremacy going?
Women have been keeping those negative tropes and stereotypes.
Absolutely. Your mouth.
Okay.
Absolutely.
The fact that you even refuse to even admit.
I got a video.
I got 1.2 billion children outside of the black race.
That I want to
still
admit.
try to find a reason to blame black men. And you a married woman. And you are still defending these no good skanks out here, laying low and spreading them wide. It says a lot.
No, but I need you not to be disingenuous with what I said.
I am not being disingenuous. I am telling you the lived experience of black men, which is the lived experience of your husband, and will be the lived experience of your son. And you're telling me you ain't worried about it because it's not going to affect you. And I'm telling you, yes, it will affect you.
I'm not worried about black women.
Well, you don't be worried about it. Praise God. I'm sure Ahmaud Arbery's mother wasn't worried about it either. I'm sure Trayvon Martin's mother wasn't worried about it either.
About black women having babies interracially.
Yes.
About black women having babies interracially causes Trayvon Martin.
All right, brother.
No.
Can I say one thing? Can I say one thing?
Come on, man. Like that. Come on, man. This is a legally trained lawyer who connected the dots for you succinctly, and you literally tried to hear something he didn't say. You know he didn't say that.
Well, I mean,
come on,
he's hearing things that I didn't say.
He's a legally trained lawyer. Like, come on, man.
I'm happy for her. If she don't think this will ever affect her, I hope it doesn't. I would never wish anything on anybody based on what I see, based on what you guys see. We know what our reputation has done to us. The reason you feel the way you feel when the police pull up behind you, even though you just driving down the street, is because you know when they see you, they see a thug. Even if you got a suit on, when they see you, they see a criminal. When they see you, they see a no good deadbeat daddy. Even if you right there playing with your children.
And they see that because of black women.
This lovely lady right here, our sister, this lovely lady does not believe this is going to affect her. And maybe it won't affect her personally.
I didn't say that.
Son and she has a
stereotypes
husband.
Don't affect me. I said that I don't agree I don't believe that.
I know you don't. Praise God.
I'm not affected by what another woman does.
Will the negative? Hold on. Would the negative stereotype affect your family then? We ain't gonna just say you. We're gonna say your family.
Let me put it this way: the negative stereotypes do affect us as black people because of white supremacy. It's been happening forever.
You hold on. So how could you say it won't affect you then? Now you're saying it affects us.
First of all, that's not what I said. He said, why won't I go and tell black women not to have the babies interracially and blame it on black men? And I said, because that thing does not affect me. That's what I said.
Right.
I never said negative stereotypes about black women.
Okay.
No. Anyway, you guys hit the number. We up in the hour number 3. And,
I just got one thing to offer. I mean,
this is what it's not going to affect her. She said it ain't going to affect her. We'll take her at her word. It ain't going to affect her. I hope it doesn't.
This is why this is so problematic, because everything that we're talking about as far as like helping these types of children born to these types of black women, black men already did that. We did that post-slavery. We did that already. We did that for almost 200 years. I mean, if you look at the track record of black men post-slavery, all the patents that black men were filing for, building and constructing, because many black men coming out of the slave experience had trade skills, and it allowed them to actually start moving in a way to build up their group economically. So
all of this talk about like doing this now, black men have done it for the past almost 200 years. And at the end of the day, the only reputation that black men have based on their women is that niggas ain't. So at the end of the day, like, black men aren't prepared to go through this for the next 100, 150 years.
Yeah, and I'm trying to,
those days are over with.
I'm trying to explain to this young lady, if they don't do something about it, you dudes are gone. I mean, that's what passport bros, SYSBM. You got black men who 51% of them aren't married and don't have children and don't plan on getting married. They are abandoning the black community, even if they don't go anywhere. They're not willing to commit with their seed and their money. They're just falling away. They're not talking about it. They're just falling away because it's like it's too much problem. It's not worth the save. And then when I get somebody up here who said, "Well, no, it don't affect me. It's not my problem." I'm like, you live in Georgia. Do you not know what's happening to black folks in Georgia right now? Didn't they just strip y'all goddamn voting rights away?
I'm doing the same thing those men are doing.
Do that because nobody feels sorry for you because of your reputation.
I don't need anyone to feel sorry for me.
I know.
Can I ask you a question?
God bless you, Michelle. I appreciate it.
Can I ask you a question? Hold on. Let me answer. Let me just ask this one quick question.
Family and your husband, and all that.
Let me just answer this one quick question.
You're gonna let her go.
Hey, Dennis.
Let me answer this one quick question. Does she do any volunteer work? Any volunteer work with young black girls?
No, you wasting your time, brother. She up out of here.
Hey, y'all.
You can't talk to. You know. Is there anybody who hadn't spoken yet?
Me.
Who is me?
Me, the girl, but I'll let him go first, and then I'll go after.
Who's the first? Who's the brother?
Len Phillips.
Oh, okay. Hey, Len Phillips, come on in. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I don't know if you remember. I was on here possibly a couple of days or weeks ago, and we were.
Don't matter, brother. Go ahead. Everybody.
I don't think you should kick her off.
I done already kicked off, man.
Yeah,
we don't talk. This is a masculine, man-dominated page. I sometimes bring women in, but this page is for men to talk. I've spent an hour and a half or hour talking. It's no use. I don't do that on this page. It's a waste of my time. This page is
I hear you,
men, sir. This page is because you're giving me advice. This page is to build black men. This page is so black men can have bricks to help build their character. I give them facts. That's a waste of time. All I did was prove the reason why I don't necessarily talk to women on this page. It's a waste of time. Many of them come here for attention and whatever the hell they want. But
yeah, believe me.
You understand what I'm saying?
I've been following you.
To add to the conversation, sir.
And I added you a lot of subscribers because I know they are after you and they do a lot of crazy things and try to shut you down and all that type of stuff. Yeah, this biracial thing. I mean, if you remember, I told you I do a lot of investigations behind the scenes. So what
would you like to add to the conversation, sir?
What would I like to add?
About the question, what should we do as black men about this influx of biracial children in the
I think first of all we have to lobby the government because there should not just be one. We should not all be lumped into black people. I've been saying that for a long time because it covers a lot of skullduggery. It covers a lot of bad deeds with the women.
You want the government to change the classification of black people? Is that what you're
because it exposes a lot of important things. You know, I told you I did a lot of investigations. A lot of so-called black people do not descend from a sub-Saharan Y chromosome, so they're not.
Okay, well, I appreciate that input. That is some very interesting information. I'm definitely interested in learning more about that. I'll probably do some research, and when I do host that show, then I'll welcome you to come back in and we'll talk about that. In the meantime, I want to go ahead and take some other people in here. Anybody, if you appreciate this conversation, big shout out to my man Lucifer Ratzinger. Thank you so much. He got them dollar bets like we shooting craps on the curb in South Central LA in 1989, baby. Backdoor Little Joe hit the foe. Don't let nobody come in no more. Anyway, but thanks so much, man. I appreciate the contributions. La Original, how you doing today?
Hey, Uncle D, how are you?
I'm good. Look, don't run my pressure up no more.
No, listen. I already see you about your bust of blood vessels.
Yeah.
As far as the topic is concerned, I don't think that black men should do anything about it. It's not your problem. I personally don't believe in taking care of children that are not biologically yours. I mean, if you decide that you want to adopt children from the foster care system, that's, you know, to each their own. I don't have issues with that.
But see, here's the thing, and I appreciate you saying it's not our problem, but it will be our problem.
Why?
Because we will have to deal with these children. You see what I'm saying? Like, even though people don't think it's not our problem now, we don't have to get the kids up and send them to school. They're going to become adults. And white folks are not going to accept all these biracial children. Hispanic people are not going to accept these children raised by black women into their neighborhoods, in their communities. They're going to be right back over here in the black community. You see what I'm saying? So it's not, maybe it won't be our problem, but it'll be our children's problem. You understand what I'm saying? These unloved, unwanted children who are angry. I've seen what happens. You want to know what happens when children grow up and they're angry and they feel unloved? And they look at Chicago, look at Detroit, look at South Central LA back in the 80s and 90s. That's what happens. And now we have a wave of these children coming, not only from black women, the 70%, but on top of that, we got 1.2 million biracial kids. It's going to be our problem. You understand what I'm saying?
I understand. I just feel like, why do black men have to clean up the mess that black women made? That's where I'm coming from. I know, me personally, I'm not interested in cleaning up nobody's mess. I'm not out here having children. I'm not out here having children out of wedlock. I'm not out here being reckless with my uterus. And I don't agree with women who do it. And I think that it's unfortunate that if a woman makes a mess, a man who's not the father of that child has to come and clean it up.
You know what I'm saying? You sound like a reasonable young woman, and I'm gonna give you some advice. The best thing you could do is go talk to the women and spread.
They don't want to. They.
Okay, but give me a minute. So what we're doing on this page is I'm getting black men to realize they have a right to speak up for themselves, and not only when they have a right to, not only do they have a right to speak, but they can use these facts and charts and graphs to dispel those truths, those lies, and speak the truth. So what that's going to do is it's going to provide you cover. See, what I want you brothers to do, young lady like this, the speaking sense, this respectful, and she, you know, she closes her mouth and listens when I'm speaking, when men are speaking. You reward her with thank yous and pleases and yes, ma'am, and you're a sister. This is what you do. You see what I'm saying? You reward women like this. And so when other women see, oh, well, wow, look how well she gets treated by those black men. They treated me horrible. Well, why did they treat you horrible? Because you was loud, disrespectful, belligerent. You didn't want to listen. But this young lady who's listening and who actually wants to do something to be helpful to black men and black women in the black family, you reward her socially. You understand what I'm saying? So you keep that in mind. And then we'll have more of these La Originals as opposed to what we've been getting, you know, over the past 20 or 30 years. But what you can do, La Original, what you can do is begin to speak to them like, you know, and you talk to them like women talk to women. I don't talk to women. Because see, me talking to you, like not every woman can take me talking to them. Hey, you need to, they don't like that. You gotta
most women are delusional.
They're delusional and they're not accustomed to, number one, being talked to like that, and specifically being talked to by like that by black men. Many of them didn't have fathers. They didn't have authoritative figures. They've never seen black men in any position of authority. So they've been trained by this society in their own home that they don't have to respect black people. But what we can do, because see, I feel like this. I've gone away for 10 years and come back. I like being able to come back to my own community. I like being able to say, yeah, you know, when I grew up, that was the church, and the church is still there. Old Reverend Chickenfoot, he's still around there, or the barbecue spot, or where my grandma raised, or how to make pecan pie like you from Mississippi. I like the culture. You see what I'm saying? I've never had a problem with black men till I goddamn got married and goddamn child support. But anyway, that's another story. I don't want to go off on a tangent. But the bottom line is, I believe this community is worth saving. Unfortunately, a lot of black men are saying, man, hell with that. And I understand why they feel that way. Because you got folk on here constantly blaming them for stuff. It's like the spigot is still on and the house is flooding. and y'all expect us to clean all this water up, but y'all won't turn the spigot off. You see what I'm saying? And we don't get any credit for cleaning up. You understand the situation that black men are in?
I do.
Yeah, done.
And the thing is, when you try, me as a female, women don't want to hear nothing I gotta say. I'm telling you, they don't want to hear it. You get called a pick me when you hold women accountable for having children out of wedlock. They don't want to hear. They don't want to hear it. This is why, me personally, I support the manosphere. I don't support everything that everybody says, but for the most part, when I watch you or O'Shea Duke Jackson or some of Kevin Samuels' videos, like, you guys make more sense and you guys are more logical because you're not speaking from an emotional standpoint. When you have conversations with people, sometimes you have to take your feelings out of it because your feelings can be finicky. So sometimes trying to have a logical conversation with another woman, it don't make no sense, especially when almost 80% of black women are having children out of wedlock, and then on top of that, you want to have a baby shower to celebrate. With all due respect, you don't have a baby shower to celebrate a bastard. You're supposed to be ashamed of doing something like that.
Okay,
There's no shame.
what you do, and let me give you some help. You punish them socially for that. You know how they always talk about divest? You divest your time, attention, and resources away. Say, no, I'm not coming to your baby shower, baby. I'll come to your wedding, but not your baby shower. And that goes for the rest of you black men. Don't support that. You're supporting that bad behavior, and you got to stop doing that.
Cosign.
You can't let that keep going, or you're gonna keep getting the same result. As long as you keep feeding that animal, girl, yeah, that's you go. That's why I tell you, brother, leave them single mothers alone. As long as they know they can get rewarded by a man who will help take care of their stuff and their problems and their issues, if they get married or if they have a child outside of marriage, then they're gonna keep doing it. And I'm talking to you as a man who has a girlfriend or who has an ex who's a single mother. I wish dudes, you know what I'm saying, leave her alone, and then she had to come back to me, and I could see my children more. You understand what I'm saying? And my children would probably end up being with me more. You understand what I'm saying? And on top of that, being one who was raised by a single mother, had the man that took me on said, no, you need to go back to your baby daddy who lived down the street, I'd have been better off right now. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm looking at it from both sides. Send those women back to their baby daddies. Send those women back. Where's your baby daddy at? Why are you in the club? Man, you got two. Give me my goddamn drink back. I thought you was a single woman with no kids. You go find, well, you need to go home. Out here with these them red bottoms on. You need to spend that on your child. You need to be home. You need to punish these women socially. Now, I don't consider myself part of the manosphere or black manosphere because it's a certain group of guys who created that, and the stuff that I do. I'm an ex. I got an ex-wife, a fiance, and a baby mama. I plan to have more kids. I want to get married again at some point because I just don't feel like it's good for a man to be alone for 30 or 40 years by himself. I just think that ain't a good idea. You know what I'm saying? But there's some brothers in the manosphere that think it's a good idea. So that's why I don't put myself in that category because I don't want to disappoint nobody. You understand what I'm saying? I'm just a black man with lived experiences. I try to share with you guys. You see what I'm saying? And I want the best for you guys. And I would never deny you, never tell you that, hey, man, don't have kids. It's been the best thing that ever happened to me, despite the BS that I've had to deal with. But if you want to get this society back in line, hell with what the black powerites are talking about, because they would have you taking care of them bastard biracial children. You see what I'm saying? They would say, no, yeah, you can Frederick Douglass. They would do that for you. You understand what I'm saying? Because he was biracial. What you have to do is make up in your mind, no, we as a collective group of people, we're going to rein these wild ones back in. That behavior is not acceptable. That behavior is not acceptable. I'm not going to deal with you. I'm going to leave you alone. And then what? What will happen is we'll get more women like this young lady right here, La Original, and then she'll have cover, and we'll be providing them cover. Women lead. I mean, women follow a leader. They follow power. And when you brothers begin to exert power and say, hell no, I ain't dating you, and no, I'm not helping you take care of your kids. You need to go back to your baby daddy. You understand what I'm saying, brothers? And you got to do it. But see, there's nowhere else for us to go. Now, some of you brothers are Haitian. Some of you brothers are from the Bahamas. Some of you brothers are from the motherland. Maybe y'all could go back. But the vast majority of us, we stuck here. We got to do something about it. I'm going to let Miss La Original go. We're going to do one more round, and we're going to roll up out of here. Go ahead.
I completely agree. I tell my male friends all the time, when it comes to women, you have to put your foot down. And when you put your foot down, you don't budge. I tell them, when you put your foot down, you don't even lift your pinky toe. That is, as a woman, that's the only thing that we respect. Because if you put your foot down and then you lift it up, we already know you don't mean nothing. You're not a man of your word, because you said something and then you went back on it. So with women, Black women especially, are the only group or the main group of women that I see that think that even after having a child, that they are still as desirable on the dating market. Why? Because you have men that will still date them. Now, if you have a child, you could date someone with a child. That's different. But I'm seeing childless men in relationships with women who have kids. There is no benefit. I have no kids. I don't want a man with children. I don't care how fine you are. As soon as you tell me that you got a child, I'm not. No, thank you. And because I have never been married, I don't want a man who's been married either. I would like to be someone's first wife if I ever do get married.
Praise God.
There has to be a consequence for their actions, because at the end of the day, a lot of women like to deflect and put the blame on y'all. But I always ask them, but who picked that man? Your baby daddy this, your baby daddy that, but who picked him? And the fact that that man is trash and you had a baby by him says a lot about you and your piss poor decision making skills. And then you pick a man and you pick the worst one. And then I see a lot of single mothers, they make terrible decisions when it comes to their children too. It's just one bad decision after another after another. Yeah. Just don't. It's not worth it. Don't do it. Don't deal with it. Don't. If you don't have no kids, don't do it. Please don't. Oh my God.
Thank you
don't
so
do
much,
it.
my original. I want to go to Mr. Nice Guy, Afro Patriarch, Alvin Holden, Vintage Negro. And we're going to go to My 2 Cents and then Lynn Phillips. Mr. Nice Guy, what would you like to say? I mean, where did the 1.2 million children come from? You know, I have some disagreements with Ms. Hill, but if you do the numbers, it's like, okay, who's making these babies? You understand what I'm talking about? Mr. Nice Guy, and then on top of that, okay, we got that. Whoever's making them, we still got to deal with them. You know, I generally ask the question: is the Black community worth saving? I don't think we have a choice. That's my opinion. But hell, tell me I'm wrong, man. But you got 2 minutes, bro. Go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
I have many points, but I'm not gonna elaborate on all of them. All I can say is 2 things. Yeah, I would say, is the Black community worth saving? Yes and no. But I'm not gonna get into both points. Hold on. Another thing is, sorry, that was my nephew. If a lot of us start leaving the community, I mean, literally, I would say if 80 to 90% of Black people, Black men in particular, possibly more than that, start leaving, you start moving into other ethnic communities, or maybe even start leaving the country, then there would be nobody to blame. There would be nobody to take the blame for those poor decisions, or even the bad.
They were still, I am going to interrupt, they're still blaming. I left us. They still blame. Go ahead.
Well, if we're not there, if Black men aren't there to blame, then how can you blame them? Let's say.
No, they blame. Think about it, and I don't want to interrupt you, but they blame us now. And we ain't with the kids. They still blame us. Like, you know, the mothers blame the absent father who they might have run away, but don't even know who he is. You understand?
Well, I'll say this here. Maybe Negroes need to start divesting away from Negro women. Black men need to start divesting away from Black women.
Where we gonna go, bro? Ain't nowhere else to go.
Well, you know, you got Black, man, you got Black women all over. They're not just here in America. You can go to Africa, you can go to Jamaica.
Most brothers ain't going there. That's what
all right, well, you know what I'm saying? I mean, go, you know, I would say date out, man. Get away from this shit. This is a nightmare, dude. It's a never-ending nightmare. You know what I'm saying?
I appreciate it, man. Thank you so much. That was your 2 minutes. Afro Patriarch, one of the veterans. Man, I think the community is worth saving. It's the same community that came up out of slavery.
Yeah.
160 black colleges. We've had so many wins against white supremacy, racism. We're the only culture of people, only culture of Africans on this planet who won and succeeded and thrived in such a horrible situation. And I understand why this culture is under attack. I understand why they want to keep us divided. I think it's a culture that's worth saving. What are your thoughts, man?
It's a hard one because
I might be wrong.
Well, look, for me, it's a hard one for me because I have a nephew now. He was born in December.
Hey, congratulations.
Yeah, I couldn't believe how much I love this little dude. And he's going to be in this community. Even if I leave, he has to stay. And when I was in the hospital with COVID, I thought about these things, and he's going to stay here in the community because my sister's not budging. So, and with her husband, and for me, that worries me because I see how nasty things are right now verbally. It's only, I think it's going to get spiraled out of control, and I can't just. A part of me, I now have the assets to leave. I've been doing a lot of shaking and baking on the side, and I'm leaving and I'm moving to another tax bracket in March. And
brother, right on, brother, right on.
And thank you. And I've, again, it's for the group that I'm part of. I'll just call them the Sigmas. Sigmas, 17 men, 1 millionaire, working together, and all black. All black. So all black men.
Man, that's been your 2 minutes. I want to go to Alvin Holden real quick. Alvin, man, look, hey, you've been here the whole show, man. What's your take on this? I don't know. I'm upset. I'm literally upset right now.
All black.
Because
all black men.
I'm not gonna make you feel any better.
Alvin Holden.
I'm gonna make it worse.
Alvin, man, look.
So originally, and I spoke about this before, man. Black women were the original baby mamas, right? They were the original single mothers. The original, for real, baby factories. Black people went from 400,000 just over in 1808. 400,000 to 4 million in 1865. That's 50 years. Find me another place in history where the population of a group of people went up tenfold in 50 years. You can't find it. So they were never our women to begin with, to be honest with you. They were never ours. That's first and foremost. They don't have any loyalty to us. They don't need to. They never have. So that's first and foremost. And second, I think a solution to the problem is, again, I'm going to say it every time somebody starts to these type of statistics, this type of information needs to be blasted out, and we need to be aggressively sharing it and asking for answers. And anytime somebody says something sideways about black men, they need to be checked in the moment aggressively. And I think that we need to circle the wagons, the people that have resources, the black men that have resources, they need to pull their resources, and we need to start creating these communities again. It used to be the church was the cornerstone. We don't have that anymore, or the church has been corrupted, whatever you want to say about it. So we don't have that anymore. So we need a solution for black men of means to be able to get themselves together and say, okay, let's start from scratch and start building up these towns and these communities on our own. Because the way it sits right now, you're right. No, it doesn't look so good.
Man, I appreciate it. It's been a real one. Vintage Negro, man, you've been patiently waiting, man. You got 2 minutes, man. What are your thoughts, advice? Where do we go from here? How do we use this information? Go. The floor is yours.
Because of it's because of one phrase from the movie Terminator. They can't be reasoned with, they can't be bargained with, they don't feel remorse, pity, or fear. They won't stop until you are dead. That's what we're dealing with.
Well, I don't think it's that bad. I know I've heard that phrase before. I think that we as black men, I think you guys are too nice. I think just like the young lady said, you're too nice. And when you guys stand up and really begin to assert yourselves as a collective and begin to put these women in their place, they'll fall back. Unfortunately, a lot of these women have become so mannish and masculine that you literally, unfortunately, you literally might have to treat them like they're men, you know, with the intimidation. But I believe that I don't believe it's too late. And call me nostalgic, but go ahead, brother. I didn't want to interrupt you. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. I just what is the benefit of dealing with? You have to basically treat this woman like she's a Klingon and fight her to get her to act right. What do black what possibly is the benefit of basically beating the hell out of a woman that does not want to cooperate? And this is the only way.
Then I'm not
beating the hell out of the woman is the only way you can cooperate.
Any violence towards women at all. I'm not saying that.
I know. I'm just saying. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that she's so brash, so harsh, so uncooperative. That's basically what you'd have to do to stay with these women.
She's still a woman.
Negative.
She's still a woman. Okay.
That's negative.
So
I understand that. I understand she's still a woman, but I'm just saying, I'm not saying we have to beat. I'm not saying beat the hell out of women. I'm not saying to punch them or anything. What I'm saying is they're so out of control and so uncooperative is that we have to fight with them. We have to go through too much stuff to deal with these women. I don't think it's worth it for the black man at the end of the day.
Bro, I don't think we have to physically fight with them. I think we have to starve them socially. I think we have to deprive them of our time, our attention, and our resources. You know how disappointing it is for women to go out and ain't no men up in there, and there's no black men in there specifically, because nobody else is really trying to talk to them in droves. So what we have to do is we have to discipline ourselves, starve them of time, attention, and resources. Don't help that baby mama. Leave her alone. You gotta, and I'm not just talking about a love interest. I'm talking about your cousin who had that baby out of wedlock, your sister, your mama who had that extra baby. I'm talking about all of them, and let them know, look, you need to go to your baby daddy. I've told women that multiple times. I got a goddaughter. She's 27 years old. She called me up. This was July. I'm in the Dominican Republic with my family. She called me up telling me, yeah, Godfather, my husband, you know, he's living with his girlfriend and, you know, he's not helping me and this, that, and the other. And I'm like, well, what did you do? Why is that other woman getting your check from your husband? What are you not doing that you're supposed to be doing to the woman that she's supposed to be doing? And she called me 3 or 4 days, tried all kind of shaming tactics, even tried to the point and said, well, you know, you're my godfather. And, you know, I said, yeah, but I didn't help you pick that man either. Because if I helped you pick him, I'd have told you who he was and what I thought of him. But the bottom line is you're a 26, 27-year-old woman. You're a married woman on top of that. You need to go back to your husband. You understand what I'm saying? And that's what you brothers need to tell these babies. When they hit you up, talk about we come as a package. Well, baby, you're a package to your husband. You're a package to your baby daddy. You're not a package to me. I didn't sign up for this. I'm here for the chicken fingers, not the fries. You understand what I'm saying? But you need to send these women back to the men that got them pregnant. Send these women back to the men that they decide to be with. Send them back, period. And then what that's going to do is the word will get around. You don't have to. You got a big ass, swole ass dude in the penitentiary. Feed him a couple of biscuits a day for about a month and a half or 2 months, and see if you don't take the fire up out of him. He gonna shrink down to looking like the size of a little old man. After 3 or 4 months, you take all the fire out of his belly. These big bad lovely ladies, these these husky ladies that we've created, it's because we fed them on attention. We've called them queens and goddesses for the past 40 or 50 years. We've made them feel that they can do no wrong. We've given them our money. We've sacrificed for them. We bought Gucci, Louis, Fendi, Birkin bags when we couldn't even afford it ourselves. You understand what I'm saying? And so we fed them. So stop feeding that animal. You understand what I'm saying, Vintage Negro? We have to stop feeding them with our time, attention, and resources, and they'll unswell. They full of salt and sugar right now. You see what I'm saying? They'll dry right
Yeah.
up like a raisin. That's what you have to do. You ain't got to fight them. You understand? Let the world whoop on them without your protection. You see what I'm saying? Stop helping them out. Don't, no time, no attention, no resources. Make that be the order of the day. And then what you start doing is you start rewarding young ladies like this young girl, La Original, and you starve the bad ones. You feed the good ones and starve the bad ones. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I like that solution, but let me ask you a question. Realistically, how many black men are going to do that? Especially Pookie and Ray Ray.
Well,
they just don't give a damn.
The Pookies and Ray Rays are not the men that these women want anyway. But what you can do is you can make Pookie and Ray Ray undesirable. Baby, let me tell you something. If you deal with a Pookie and a Ray Ray, I don't even want you around me. If you have a child by Pookie and Ray Ray, you can't even expect me to be around, period. If you don't know who your baby daddy is, you have to punish these women socially for their poor decision making. And when you do that, they correct themselves socially. There's no law that can fix this. The laws are not going to fix this. But we as black men, you got to express some control over yourself. You got to have some dignity. You got to have some self-respect. You don't want to run up in some woman that's no good. She got 4 kids by 4 different dudes. That's herpes waiting to happen right there.
Well, Dennis, actually, you know what's happening though, bro. And the thing that I think that we are missing is that we are voting with our feet, right? So you said yourself, 51%, 52% of us don't have kids and aren't married, right? We're finding out that there's 1.2 million extra kids out here that are being sired not by us.
Right.
You know what I mean? But yet and still, we like black men need to have dick discipline. I don't know. I think we got dick discipline. I think we're
still giving them. We still providing them cover.
Well, we're allowing them to.
You see how I say I don't even talk to women? That's part of me. Time, attention, and resources. Don't even give them attention. See, your preacher's not going to tell you this. Your imam is not going to tell you this. None of them are going to tell you this. No, don't give them your time, attention, or resources. That's your time, your attention, your resources. When you find a woman that's good, a submissive, you reward her with your time, attention, and resources. That also includes family members. Family members, not just love interests. Family, it starts at home. Start at home first. When let me tell you something, man, and I'm gonna give y'all a little insight to my personal life, man. So of course my mom and my sisters are black. They don't like my podcast. Every now and then word get back to me, yeah, you saying something about this. And the problem is because I'm speaking like this. Oh, you just hate black women. This is from my own sisters and family. But see, I have standards. When they do come over here, ain't no liquor popping. Y'all sit down on the couch and drink water, cross your legs, act like ladies. I don't care how you act outside here. It's damn near uncomfortable for them to be in my house. You see what I'm saying? Because this is where Blackistan exists everywhere. This is an island of patriarchy in this house. I got masculine, manly sons. We do masculine, manly shit. My woman is very feminine, submissive. She cooked 3 meals a day. That's why Uncle D's face is swelling up like this. You understand what I'm saying? This is that household. You see what I mean? Even my neighbors, I'm surrounded. I got black neighbors everywhere. They don't really know how to deal with me like that because I don't play them games. I don't have, yeah, man, the wife. I don't play them games with them. This is a very controlled, masculine house. Now, y'all know I'm a big pushover for my kids. And my woman get whatever she wants, but it's because they submit. I reward my woman for her submission. I reward her for her cooperation. You understand? Just like I reward my sons for their masculinity and their masculine accomplishments, I reward my woman for her submission. And this is home first. And what do I do with women who aren't submissive, who aren't cooperative? They don't get rewarded. You see what I'm saying? And you brothers have to start with that. It's a woman at your goddamn job right now. It's always in your face, acting mean and tough. I want you to divest her of your time, attention, and resources. When you see her, walk by, pretend like she don't exist. And when you see a woman that's being feminine, sweet, I don't care what color she is. You be kind to her. You see what I'm saying? And praise God if you can find a black woman who's feminine and sweet. You treat her like she is the, oh my God, you treat her like she is a bottle of water in the middle of the Serengeti Desert. You understand what I'm saying? That's how we begin to change what's acceptable, what's not acceptable. We don't need women. They need us. They thrive off our attention. That's why Instagram and Facebook is so popular. They need that male attention. And if you don't give it to them, they get angry about it. So you take your time, attention, and resources away from. Don't give up on the black community. We ain't got nowhere else to go, man. I done been other places. I love being able to hang out with the brothers and come back and see this. I like engaging with black American women, even the ghetto ones, because I'm used to that, like we all are. Even if you grew up in the, you know, rich, upper middle class neighborhood, you like going and hanging out with your cousins and talking shit on the corner with your homeboys and slapping fives and hand. That's your culture. That's your community. We shouldn't get that shit up, not without a fight. And all I'm asking you brothers to do, man, is just begin to treat the good ones good and treat the bad ones bad. Don't that make sense? That's just how, that's self-esteem right there. But anyway, man, I'm tired of shit. I know I probably was supposed to let some other folk talk, but man, anyway, this is Uncle D. I appreciate you guys, man. This has been a long conversation. Thank you so much for the contributions. I want to thank Mr. Nice Guy, Afro Patriarch, Alvin Holden, Vintage Negro, Lynn Phillips, La Reginald, and everybody else who came in, other young lady, Miss Hill. God bless you, sister. I wish the best for you and your family. I'm happy to hear the sisters married. And I hope that other black women who are married realize that you still have a vested interest in the black community. If we got 1.2 million babies coming from black women that black men didn't sire, and these women are not married, put 2 and 2 together. You can figure out where they're gonna end up. They're gonna end up in school with your kids. They're gonna end up in the birthday parties at Chuck E. Cheese with your kids. They're gonna end up dating and marrying your kids. You're gonna have to deal with that. And so you do have a vested interest in that. On top of that, brothers, this is our community. This community never belonged to these black women. Hell, they're not race loyal. They would have left a long time ago if they could have, because they don't feel like they're getting enough from the community. They looking at what the white woman got and they want what she has. And so they don't feel like they're getting what, so if they can get away from us, they would. So this is our community. And what we have to do as black men is we have to begin to regulate our community. We have to punish these women for their behavior. How do I mean punish? I don't mean slapping nobody. That's not what I'm talking about. I mean, take away from them your time, attention, and resources. Stop rewarding these disrespectful women with your, if you go in a club, or if you go in a restaurant, it's a bunch of women in there cutting up and acting a fool and dancing on the tables, just leave. And once all the men leave, it's nobody in there for them to perform for. You understand what I'm saying? Because they're doing it for you. When you go places and you interact with people, you at the job or whatever, you got a black woman that's being disrespectful to you or being mannish with you or and these sort of things. Don't reward her with your attention. Ignore her like she was a goddamn poop on the ground. You step right around her and you find preferably a black woman who's being submissive and who's being sweet and who's being kind, and you reward her with your attention. Good morning. How are you doing, Latanya? You look so beautiful today. Oh my God, that's a wonderful dress. And you keep it moving. And in that way, when Keisha see that, she'll say, damn, I want to get treated like Latanya. Now she's gonna try to shame the other girl for being sweet, but you keep rewarding her. As a matter of fact, if you got relatives and family members, guys, y'all treat the female family members that are sweet and submissive and beautiful and feminine, you treat them well. Go out of your way to make sure that old auntie of yours that always bakes you cakes and talk nice to you, get her house painted, or make sure her tires are changed on her car. Make sure that she's not having problems with the neighbors. That's what you do. You treat the good ones good and the bad ones like they don't exist. Don't even give them negative attention. That's what I'm trying to tell y'all. We can change this, brother. There's nothing that black men haven't set their mind to that they couldn't fix. And we owe it to the generations that came before us. That's what I'm trying to tell you. And let me tell you something else. Some of you brothers say, well, I'm just marrying Afro-Caribbean woman or Afro-Latino woman or my woman from Jamaica, she's West Indian. Your children are going to come right back into Blackistan. They're going to come right back in here. So you're still there. Even you all who are marrying these women from other races, they're going to come right back into here. And we just still going to have to deal with it. So you can't run from it. So let's do what our ancestors did for us. Let's pick this horrible situation up and push it forward into the future. But let's try to fix some of these problems that we having right now, man. We can't cop out, man. Our ancestors would be disappointed at us, man. Think about all those black men who died in the Civil War fighting for our freedom. That was a messed up situation. Compared to what we got going on right now, they had a lot worse. Let's look at all those black people who after the Civil War built all those towns around the country, right? And had all the white folks looking at them over the side of their eye, hating on them. And for years we prospered. And then they burnt it down. And then what? We came back and we went to Harlem and Chicago and Cleveland, and we built little towns and cities up in there. We still are here. We are still winning. Despite them trying to get rid of us, we are still here as a group of people. And we owe it to our progeny. We owe it to our ancestors to keep pushing, man. That's all I'm saying. So don't give up. This is just another problem we have to deal with. All I'm doing is presenting it to you in a way, and I'm giving you ideas. Hopefully you'll run across some righteous black women who will hear what you have to say, and we make more of them and we reward them. And then you know what? After a while, it's more of us than it is of the ones who are deleterious. And we get our community back. Other than that, man, this is Uncle D. God bless you. I love y'all. I'm out.